What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's good, everybody? Give me a minute to kind of self-adjust a little bit. Um, let's see. Patreon, TikTok, StreamYard, well, YouTube. So I'll just keep it like that, right? Multi-dimensional, huh? Um, anyway, let me see if I can move that a little bit over here. Okay, okay. Okay. First of all, good evening. I hope that you guys don't pick up too much background noise and all that. Uh, let's see. What I wanted to discuss was that I've been on some. Well, I've been on. First of all, I this is Friday night. It's January 30th, 2026. And I've been on these YouTube streets for a good minute, right? Like for 17 years. Who's counting? Um, except for my YouTube studio thing. But beside the point. I have been on some panels and I've been giving my opinions on relationships and perspectives. I'll challenge an idea here and there. I challenge bad ideas. I co-sign when I need to, and I challenge when I need to as well. But what I wanted to do was just like I said, I always say this, but I'm not trying to take and take up everyone's time. I'm not like a four. I hope I'm not a 4 hour guy. I'm not a 4 hour. I just don't have that much like wind to just rant forever. So I'll try and keep it to like an hour. I don't know, something decent. Maybe less than a maybe less than a Chris Nolan movie. How about that? Um, so let me just I have something in store for you, my audience, whoever that is, now or later or whatever, on what I've been doing, right? So I've been reviewing. I've been on up on panels on YouTube for the most part. Sometimes I listen in on some TikTok debates. It really doesn't seem to help me when I go up to TikTok because there are so many people who are talking at the same time. It's hard to get a word in, and it's hard to express a complete thought or idea, which is why I pretty much do like the solo act that I'm doing now. But panels are different. When you have a good host or moderator, you're able to express a full idea and get your complete thought out. And then after that, people may, challenge or come back or whatever it is, right? So what I wanted to do was kind of review the panels I've been on and participating in the conversations that I've had. If you're on TikTok and if you want to maybe come up on this panel. It'll be YouTube. I don't know. Um, I still don't know how to really work TikTok too well. I mean, I see like that when people are here, it says invite someone to co-host, but I don't know what that means. I don't know if they have powers or anything. I don't know if that means I can see them or this is camera off. I really don't know TikTok that well, and Patreon is just straight up a stream that has no powers. But StreamYard, I'm familiar with only because when I'm on YouTube and you click that link, you're able to see other people in the backstage and then add them up and stuff like that. So I guess I'm more familiar with that better than any other platform, right? Yeah, sue me. But I wanted to review what I've been listening to, what I've been participating with, and participating on and contributing as far as my ideas and perspectives on relationships, especially in the modern day era. I know I don't look it, but I am 44. I just turned 44 this December. Um, uh, Sagittarius, make what you will of that. I don't care about those things anymore. But I mean, maybe when I go to a Chinese restaurant and I you know, read my fortune cookie. I don't know, whatever that is. But I've been wanting I'm gonna share I'm going to, try and either share my screen, on YouTube, so if you wanna hop over the YouTube and I'm into the Black Dragon, everywhere, YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, Instagram, and, wherever, right? Uh, and especially, PlayStation. On Black Ops, I'm into Black Dragon. I think I took out the because of the character limit or something like that. Anyway, uh, a lot's been happening on these streets. A lot of people have been giving their opinions on, panels. I'm just one of them, but I wanted to actually go over what I've been doing this month as far as contributing to the platforms and the conversation about relationships in the modern day era. We know that the dating pool right now is complicated, to say the least. We know that I think the last time we met, the last video I made or live I did was about reviewing TikToks about women who were in or people. I'm not sure if it was mostly women, but people who were um, giving their opinions on modern dating, and I was just giving some kind of feedback and critique. And what I wanted to do was just kind of do a self review of, well, instead of me just talking to you directly, I wanted you to tell me or comment on what my ideas were, or whether or not you agree, or something like that. But I wanted to give you the context of an actual conversation that's on a panel, because because when we're talking about relationships, is a conversation to be had. So, let me I've saved some links. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of other content creators will, clip and ship, meaning they clip up the actual 4 hour or 3 hour conversation, and then they'll kind of divide and then release on the play by play on, what stream, what section is relevant, or things like that, right? I do the same thing with my dance videos. My dance videos are 3 4 minutes, but I clip only shorts because the shorts only allow for like 60 seconds. So I'll divide my dance routine to like, like 59, 55 seconds done, try and find a good place to pick it up and then, clip it again. But I got some clips and I wanted to see what you guys thought as an audience, as far as um I don't know what you thought of my opinion. If you disagree, tell me why, blah, blah, blah. I'm actually going to drop the link in the my StreamYard link on the YouTube. And if anyone wants to come up, I mean, that's fine with me. Give me your feedback in real time. That's cool. I can't, like I said, I don't know TikTok well enough, and I haven't hosted or done enough lives to be confident to know, to invite someone up and do all that. I mean, you're on my cell phone, so it's kind of it's kind of different. And from what I've experienced on TikTok, a lot of people who are up on the panels, there's a lot of cross chatter and there's a lot of interruption. So I wanted to kind of get this moment to kind of get some clarity and let you hear what I'm saying first, and then drop the link and then see whoever wants to come up, and then maybe have a back and forth on my thoughts or ideas if you heard it, or blah blah blah, and then go from there. But right now I need a drink because talking a lot makes my mouth parched. I don't know how some of y'all do this for like 2 or 3 hours and not take a swig. That and I just ate. So I ate some whatever I ate, had jalapenos, so kind of spicy, you know what I mean? Anyway, I cook with jalapenos. I'm in Texas. What do you want? Um, let me go through. I'm gonna go on YouTube. Well, I am on YouTube. Let me just go and share my screen on YouTube right now. If you're on TikTok, you can maybe open it up. I'm not sure how you do that on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, hopefully you're probably on your phone or something like that, and then you can go on your computer and then just watch YouTube and then just watch the videos. But you should be able to hear it because I have the sound hooked up to my speaker. So I'm hoping that when I actually play these videos, that you'll actually hear the sound, and you'll know which one you'll know which one I am when I'm talking. So Um, uh, let's see here. Let's try that one here. Okay. Okay. We go to StreamYard. Okay, it's picking up that one, but I want to share. Let me stop the screen share. Let me start it again. Share screen. It's talking about tabs. Oh, entire screen. Okay, cool. All right, share screen one. Okay. It's horrible. I'm still getting used to all this stuff. Anyway, okay, now I'm sharing my entire screen. You can see what I see on one of my screens. I have dual monitors, by the way. So, let's get right into it. I told you I didn't want to talk your ear off, or anything like that. So, let's get, hang on, let me, my Patreon. Here we go. Let's get right into it. I was on the Lapeef Network. He does some really good topics on relationships. It's a conversation to be had. Trust me. So let me go ahead and play just like a clip, and hopefully you can get the context of the conversation, and then we can go from there. Hopefully you can hear it. So I just paused it right there, right? I just wanted to so that was kind of my take on it, right? Let me stop my screen sharing and then I'm gonna start it again, but I'm only gonna share that one tab. There we go. There we go, much better. Okay, so well, let me just make myself big. Okay, good. Okay, so the reason I got this comment underneath that video that said first of all, it said that I was rambling. That kind of triggered me. I'm like, I wasn't rambling. Everything I said made sense. What the fuck? But but the thing is, I hope most of you grabbed my point, right? The point that I was making. The point is, I'm not saying when you're single, it sucks to be single. I'm just saying that after this longevity of being single, you can wake up and it is a bad day, and it's not a bad day, but you can have your bad days because you're missing that special someone, you're missing a connection. You're looking at couples who are walking in the park, and it's not like you're hating or disgruntled. It's just that you want what they have. That's kind of the gist of what I was saying. You want the kind of loving, healthy relationship that they have. That's pretty much all the point I was saying there. But yeah, but everything else I was saying, yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna stand on what I just said. But I wanted to clean that last part up because I say Disney movie only because um, it's a universal thing that's tangible that we've all seen. We've all seen Cinderella. What happens when the prince found Cinderella and they lived happily ever after? That's kind of why I use the Disney reference because it's something that we've readily all seen. We've all seen some kind of Disney movie where there's a happy, healthy relationship that just happily ever after is what I was kind of like getting at there. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, so my thing about how women like men and women live in two different we live in the same world, but we operate in two different universes, right? We do have to earn everything, the job, the money, the car, the house. We have to earn an entire world through our body, and existing as a man in order to um uh get a woman or earn a woman. We have to earn women too, um, which isn't a complaint, but it's just a reality that men deal with when we wake up each morning. There is no, right now the dating pool kind of sucks or whatever, or modern people say, but it sucks because I think younger people don't know where we are. There's been too much. To be honest, there's too much social media going around saying that women suck or men suck, when the fact of the matter is we both need each other. That's not going to change. That's not going to go away. There is no evolution past what is necessary. And what is necessary is that men and women need each other in order to function in a happy, healthy relationship that can turn into a long term relationship and eventually turn into a marriage. And I think a marriage is still what we want to pursue, but we need to pursue it with different rules. Like, whether it be changing the court system, maybe we need to get rid of divorce altogether. And I've asked this question before, I think on another panel, but I wasn't on a panel. I was more like in the comments. If I'm not on the panel, I'm in the comments sometimes. And I'm like, you know what? If we got just did away with divorce and there's no such thing as divorce anymore, and the question is, how many women would want to get married? And I asked, okay, so divorce is still in the thing, right? Let's say divorce is still a thing, and you can still get married and you can still get divorced. So what happens when divorce means you have no allocation of assets from a man, which means the loser loses. You want a divorce, fine, but you get nothing. You earn nothing. You lose. You get no alimony. You get no child support. You walk away. You came in is how you came out. Meaning there is no distinction between a long-term relationship, a basic relationship, and a marriage, meaning the paperwork don't mean shit. Meaning you want a divorce, you file the paperwork, that's it. You get nothing. And with that context, how many women are signing up to get married within that context? So I ask this as a serious question. Either there's no divorce or there's a divorce, but there's no allocation of resources. So how many people are going to get married then within that context? Because that's going to be one of the only contexts that can make marriage work for the long term. Meaning you are getting married for the right reasons. And if it's so insufferable, if marriage becomes so insufferable that you need to leave that person, then leave with $0 and 0 cents. Leave. End it. Be the end of it. No court enforces anything. So within that context, how many people are going to sign up to get married right away? So, I mean, those are questions that I kind of pose and ask to particular panels and stuff like that. But anyway, I just wanted to play that clip so you guys got the kind of setup and context of what we were talking about and discussing. This one is about another 6-7 minutes. I'm not sure if there's anything else I've really said that was relevant, but we'll hear it anyway. We'll hear it anyway. Just because, just humorous.
So what if just by nature they just never really liked us? Like we get money, we got money to get them, and now they got money and have the opportunity to get us. They don't want us anymore. Like they make their own money now. Do they naturally not? Did they really not really like us? Like we keep fighting.
Yes, we still do.
We keep. No, we keep.
Yes, we do.
We keep fighting for women to love us just without money. Then we get money. No, women in general. I'm not saying how about you and Bo is minority? We're gonna put y'all in a minority. We're gonna let y'all do that for the show.
Don't do that.
If
what you mean?
If I say love me for me and it's not enough, and you say, yeah, go give me some money, and I give you money and it's not enough, now that you make your own money, do most women, not y'all, actually love men?
No, if they keep moving the goalpost and it's based on materialism and superficiality.
But that's what I'm saying. But we keep saying men are the problem, but men are getting money to give it to women, and women are getting money to take care of themselves instead of taking care of the man that they love.
But shouldn't men stop bringing money and ask for more substance?
No, they do. So the goalpost. Matter of fact, it was on the PIF, I think last year, 2 years ago, the goalposts have been moved to no problems and peace. And men can't even get that from women. So we don't ask, they don't even care if a woman cooking no more, if a woman cleaning anymore, if a woman inconsistent in the bed anymore. They just say, hey, no problems and peace. And the man can't even get that because everything y'all want from a man costs money. Everything we want from y'all is absolutely free.
Nothing that I want from a man costs money.
I remember I said take y'all out the equation. I said Bo and Pearl. Okay. Y'all go rest in y'all soft girl era. That's not y'all. Most women, everything they want costs money. Everything we want is for free, and they still can't do it. Head is free, sex is free, love is free, understanding is free, submission is free. Everything y'all want, not y'all, most women want costs money, and it's still not good enough.
Yeah, that's a mic drop. I agree with that.
I can
relate to that. That's a wait. That's a problem. Wait. What he just said. The problem is that he's correct and he's right, and that's what makes it a problem because it means that our values. What he's saying is a misconstrued in values. Your values are in the wrong place. If our values are love, and love is something that we're supposed to expectedly do for our women day in, day out, waking up, going to bed, why is it that when it comes to y'all selecting, it ain't for the hardworking average man who will love you, it's for the rich man who will pay you, not pay you, but whatever you want to call it.
So do all of them?
That was my so first of all, what Ilkan Ali was saying, I was feeling what he was saying, so that's why I chimed in, right? And when he landed his plane, it was real. So my follow-up was what you just heard, if it's choice between women wanting someone who loves them, a man who loves them, versus a man who will just pay them or ship them money or whatever it is. Y'all want the dude to just ship you money rather than a man who loves you, not knowing or understanding that the man who loves you may not be able to quote unquote pay you whatever it is that you're asking for as far as price is concerned. But love is much deeper than money. I mean, love can last forever, it can last until the day you die. So we're talking about how men are perceiving women when do and observing the choices that you actively make rather than the choices that we make. We're two completely different animals. We're not motivated by what you can quote unquote give us financially or by any means. We're more interested in the relationship and sustaining that rather than sustaining a financial bank account with black ink. So, I guess I was coming. I do feel that perspective. So that's why I chimed in the way I did, because we're giving women feedback about what we're observing in the modern era of dating. So if you guys don't agree, let me know. I mean, you can comment on my TikTok video, whatever it is. Patreon, you're just gonna sit there and watch. But YouTube, I don't have any guests on YouTube. So it's just whatever. You can, I mean, on YouTube, it's different because as soon as I'm done recording, it'll be published out anyway, and people can just drop a comment after, or doing some kind of rewatch. So yeah, I co-signed on that, and I, kind of added a little bit of rainbow sprinkles on top of his cupcake. So about 3-4 minutes left. So I don't know if I added any more than that, but I'm probably sure I did. But at least let me see. I'm just scrolling real quick. Let's play this one out.
Men hold that same sentiment that Ali said.
Most.
That it comes
I'm talking about on the panel. I'm talking about on the panel. Have y'all experienced that on the panel?
I would argue that without money, most of us ain't getting that. Without, so we're not saying money as in when he says everything that y'all need from us cost us, is because money is always a part of the equation. It's always a part. I don't care how much. It's never a time where it's not in the equation. It may not be.
Sweeney got the best. Sweeney needs to make an app. We talked about this last year too. I ain't heard him talk about it in a long time. Is if we charge y'all for everything that we do for y'all, you get to see how much it is that we actually invest in y'all. You would get to see it. And I ain't heard Sweeney talk about it in a long time. If you had to pay us for everything that we did to you, the money would be crazy if we charged y'all. Versus what most women actually do for men, and it's free. And to go further, it's free. But if all men left women today because they don't get sex and they don't get catered, they're not happy. Most relationships went in today too. But men are loyal to women. Most men don't get sex. Most women don't get men catered to them, and most men are not happy in their relationships. Just like Boheem said, but they're loyal.
So Ali, what we need to do to level the playing field?
There's only 3 things to do.
What we need.
The first one is laws. If we're going to change laws, right? Sweeney talked about it a year or 2. The second one is if y'all change, y'all have to change. But if y'all don't, what you mean? For y'all to actually love men?
When you say change, because that's going to be the next question.
For y'all to cooperate with and actually love the man that come inside you, that would change everything. That'd be it. Because y'all end up not loving the man who come inside you and have a kid with. He's the worst person ever after the kid, after he nutted. So if you cooperate with the man that you let nut inside you, then it would change overnight. But if all of that can't change, we have to go back to that old school patriarchy. We have to make you do it so that we have families, because most of what men are asking from women is just to be righteous. Because I ask y'all too, and I ask this a lot of times, Pearl and Boheem, are women more progressive and do better, and women and children under their own control or under the control of men?
Under the control of men. We know that, Ali.
Should men control women?
In terms of what?
You don't want
just total control?
No. That's
I'm asking. That's what you mean? So you just a blanket control. Blanket control?
If we control you, a Pearl, Outside of what we don't control you, everything y'all try to do is something 304 stuff. Y'all want to be lit. You want to go to the club. You want to go to strip club. You want to go on girls trips. You want to do OnlyFans. You want to be a video vixen. You want to be an influencer. Everything
Who
is on
are
some
these
whole stuff.
women?
Okay, Ali, that's the extreme. It started with just women
That's
wanting to just
most women.
work and have an identity outside.
And Boheme, it's gotten so bad that when women actually get what they want, they get the marriage, they get the baby, they get the family. They want freedom, aka going back to being a thought. Like
that
they want to go.
True, Ali.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, it's not being a thought.
Okay, so
let me explain something to you. So when I don't want to make a blank misstatement, so we're not gonna say.
Okay. So I didn't have anything to contribute after that. I think I was just mostly a bystander listening because that was kind of a little out of my depth. I'll admit that. So I mean, there's certain things that there's certain when they're driving and they're taking a shortcut or they're taking a road that I'm unfamiliar with, I'm like, okay, it's not like I checked out, but it's that I'm listening to the response and the back and forth, and I'm like, okay, let me see where this is going. So for the rest of the clip, I guess that's where I am. I'm also going to be posting these the links of these clips so that you can see. Actually, I'm gonna. This is so. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up my words. I'm going to share the links of the clips that you're hearing so that you can see it in its full context. I do want to promote other Black content creators such as Lapeef, and this might be risky. I'm on that podcast as well. There is another one I think called Truth Hurts. He runs his old podcast. I want to promote him as well. So I'm just trying to support other content creators. You know, we all out here trying to do what we're doing. So I want to make sure that, you know, give a shout out to these people who are putting together these panels that allow me to come up and give my 2 cents. So hey, it is what it is. I'm down for that. Anyway, there is another clip that I want to run. Let me stop sharing that one, which is that tab, and I'm going to share my screen again. And let's see, the other tab is this one. And we are going to go right now. I believe this may be the prequel, meaning the conversation up to the conversation that we just played. I believe. We'll find out. Let me see. I know I had something to say, though.
Many things.
Can I ask you this then, as a follow-up of what your answer just was?
Mm-hmm.
Can we safely assume as men that our women are given a miseducation in how to function in a healthy, long-lasting, sustainable relationship? Just with her answer. Just with your answer, Bo. Okay, so let me pause it right here because there is damn it, I hate it. There is another clip that might be right before this one. And I believe the title of this clip is called Women Forced to Choose Love or Money. And then panel gets heated over dating reality, right? And I think Ilkan Ali was talking about, hey, if you ask most women to choose whether there's a lineup of 20 men who have money, who can provide for you financially, but won't treat you as nice or as well as you'd want to be treated. And to the right or onto the other side, there's 20 other men who are average, who make average money, but they'll treat you better. They'll treat you as you'd like to be treated, you know, love you and respect you and things like that. You know, who would you choose? You know, who do you think most women would choose? What are most women going for in 2026? The man who's got all the money or the man who can show them all the love? And so I think he was asking the men, and men are like, I think us men were like, nah, they're going for the, you know, the man with money. So we kind of came to a more consensus of that. and Boheme was responding and she was giving, I don't want to misquote her or take her out of context, but she was saying how she was raised to be taught that a man is supposed to provide for you, and don't go for anyone who's broke or something like that, like that. So basically, from her answer, her answer was, I was taught or was raised that, looking for someone who can provide for you is the definition of what a quote unquote good man is. Like, a good man is someone who can provide for you and treat you good and this and that. So it's basically this standard. You've placed this standard of what a good man is based off of his finances, rather than how he treats you or loves you or takes care of you or such and such. So the question that I'm posing is based off of her answer. I posed a question, but I posed a question to the men, and I tried to get like a roundabout yes or no from the men, but it kind of derailed into something else. But let me rewind it again, and then I'll play it again. And now that you know the actual context, I'll play it again so that maybe it makes a bit more sense. My response to what she was talking about.
The same message does not come from the same people. We are taught so many things.
Can I ask you this then, as a follow-up of what your answer just was? Mm-hmm. Can we safely assume as men that our women are given a miseducation in how to function in a healthy, long-lasting, sustainable relationship? Just with her answer. Just with your answer, Bo. I mean, I'm talking to the men. I'm just asking, can we safely assume that from the answer that this is a class A miseducation on how a woman is supposed to show up, bring to the table in a healthy, functioning, long-lasting relationship that can potentially turn to a marriage? Till death do you part.
Yeah, from a young age. But like Sweeney said before, if the standards that
So Sweeney answered right away, yeah. And Ilkhan Ali, I think his first answer was yeah, and then there's a a long comma. So he wanted to get his full thought process out. But the point of the question was to get a consensus from the men so that we can all look at the same thing and call a thing a thing. I call it a miseducation because if younger women were raised by their parents or peers or even friends or whatever it is, to look for men who love them and to give them the discernment to find a man who loves them and would treat them right, then money and put money as a secondary or non sequitur or non qualifier, then they'd be in more healthy, long-lasting, long-term relationships that can turn into a marriage. And so the point of mine was to get a male consensus to say, yeah, this is a miseducation of our women, and our women, I say Black women, that that you're raised to value the wrong things. And that's why that's mostly why relationships in the modern era don't work. You're placing value on things that are fleeting, such as happiness and money and what things a man can either buy you or what have you, as if that's functional or if that's healthy, or if that can be long lasting, which it isn't. So that was the context of that question. I wanted to get consensus from all the men on the panel, but it kind of went in different directions. Like I said, it happens, but let's let me play the rest so you can get the full context of what Ali was gonna say.
That you have aren't realistic anymore, and you get a different life and experience our greatest teachers, right? So if everybody's telling us to chase after beautiful women, and we find out when we're dealing with abundance of beautiful women, if you have access to beautiful women or women who got beauty, that a lot of them have ugly characters, and they will call them mean girls, and a lot of them think they think they're the world and they don't have to bring nothing to your table, then you naturally with life, your standards start adjusting. You start changing to a better quality of human being and hoping that maybe she got some good aesthetics. We'd have to ask the sisters that. They're not 20 anymore. They're 30, 40, 50 years old. Like, does life teach you? Does experience teach you and go, hey, that's not what it's really about. I need to look for a righteous man, an orderly man, a good-hearted man, not just a man who has money, especially if a lot of these men who have money are supposedly financially abusive, which that term I'm still trying to figure out. But even if you meet handsome men and you're saying they're assholes, they're manipulative, they're controlling, don't you start having different experiences and your standards start adjusting as you get older, especially when women say they're very educated and they're very experienced and they say they're intelligent.
But I would say just to that, like, to follow up on the miseducation thing, would you also agree, just from asking and answered, that you were taught to also, I guess the questions for the women are, does this also mean that the average man is not only good enough, but not even worth your time and attention, no matter how good, loyal, respectful, and all the other boxes, good for you, wouldn't leave you, compromises. I mean, a good man is average. He is the gas station worker. He got your burger. He whatever. But are you, with this education that Bo was talking about, does that mean that you walk around with this lens excluding good men?
Is this specific
for the women, specifically for the women? So that was the question I was posing to the women. Like, if the lens that you walk around with is that you need to find a man who can take care of you financially, then that means that you're walking around ignoring good men. Good men aren't good enough for you. Good men are average. Good men don't have a whole lot of money. Good men don't aren't trying to buy you as a woman. They're trying to love you as a woman. So if you're being raised underneath this, to have this lens that a good man is only like a certain like dollar amount, it means that the lens that you're walking around with is just, I can ignore the average man because the average man isn't quote unquote good enough. So that's what the context of that was. I mean, you heard it, but just reiterating that. And I was asking it to the women, and I wanted to see what their response was. What Bo was saying, this is how we were brought up. We were brought up, not one for one. He better have a car. Does that exclude the dude from Burger King?
It does when you're young, though, right? When you're young and you're listening and you're impressionable and you're listening to all of these different people trying to figure out life, right? But like Ali said, life is your greatest teacher. And so by the time I got to the end of my 20s, now I understand. Like, now I have seen and experienced enough that I know that the average man is the best man. I know to not go after that man with that big expensive car, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, financial abuse is definitely a thing. Like, men always want to bring up these dumbass points about options being different women. No, men have the option of treating you right or not treating you right. And more often than not, men with money don't treat you right. Trust me, I know. So, like, you do learn. Hopefully you learn sooner rather than later. But like, luckily I learned before I got out of my 20s. So I was a lot less traumatized outside of my 20s.
Can you, before we hold on, y'all, Bo, how does a man with money typically mistreat a woman? I would think a man that has less money probably use more. We'd say he have to use more of what he is to give a woman, right? He probably use more of his heart. He have to do certain things for women, right? Because for the lack of not having money. How does a man who has money, because typically the more money a man has, it seems like the more he does for you, the more he buys for you, the more he caters to you, the more he dates you, the more he takes you on trips. How do most men that you believe. I think a minority of men would do that, but how does the majority of men with money mistreat women with money?
So, material items are great, but that's not how you treat a woman right. Like, that's cool. Like, I had all of the things. I got all of the nice dinners and I had clothes and all of that stuff, right? It was cute. It was nice. But he talked crazy and ignored the mess out of me. You're disposable. He'll call you when he's ready for you. Basically, he doesn't treat you right. He might buy you things and take you places, but he doesn't treat you right. You know how many bitches I got called by dudes? Like, let me tell you something. No, they're terrible people. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them.
That's what I was actually going to say. I think that we as men, at least in this space, romanticize this idea that money is the root of solving the issue. And that's far from the truth. I don't know a woman who's not dealt with a man with money. I've never met them. And I also don't know the fact that, again, this kind of speaks to some of the way we grew up. Maybe in your high school, people didn't have cars, but some people, that's not their reality. Like, there's a lot of people who having a car was normal, but maybe depending on where you came from, then yeah, that makes sense. Oh, she's going after men with resources, so therefore I have to compete. Most of the women, I believe, from what Bo is saying, is actually very true. If they're able to get around those privileges of sorts, the exterior, they still want the character.
But hold on, that's your experience. There's men on the panel that got money. I got money. Yeah. Your experience with men with money is that they're deceptive or they're manipulative or they're controlling or they're bad people. Most men with money are extremely generous. They'll pay for everything. They'll take care of people. And the bad part, and I'm gonna tell you this, the bad part about it is this.
Ali, you keep talking about money though. We're not talking about money.
No, I'm not just talking about but I'm talking about money because we're talking about men with money. But the man with money, a lot of men who built himself, who got money, that guy has charisma. He has personality. That most people with money built themselves up. They know how to communicate with people. They know how to treat people. I don't see men with money who most of the time are mistreating people. They're very generous and respectful people. From my experience as well, I don't know. There's people on the panel that I know got money as well too. What is your experience with men with money?
Respectfully,
We're talking about two different people, not the same guy. The CEO who communicates by everyone perceiving everyone as their employee may also transfer that.
Hold on. Let's not go to the seat.
See what I mean? So, so I'll explain this. Let me explain it because like I said, a panel can be messy. You get interrupted. You can't get your full thought out. So what happened in this instance is Boheem Noor and Ilkan Ali are having the discussion about men with money and how they treat their spouse, right? So the problem is Ali is saying that a man with money can be generous with their wealth or their money to a woman, and Bo was saying, well, she's dated men with money, obviously, so she's speaking from her experience, saying that a man can be manipulative, he can be this, he can be that, he can financially abuse you, meaning he withholds money and uses it as leverage in order to get what he wants from, or in order to get cooperation from the woman that he's dealing with in the relationship. So what I'm trying to explain before I was so interrupted is that a CEO, which is a person with money, obviously, is a different type of person. They're a different type of human being. They can be accustomed to buying and selling people, not like slaves or whatever, but it's kind of like, I know they have to wheel and deal and live in a different type of universe that an employee operates from. If I work at a call center and the CEO is flying around doing seminars and meeting and greeting and has to get contracts and deals in the millions, me working at a call center, like my relationship and how I relate to people is going to be completely it's going to be a completely different lens that I'm looking through than the CEO who has to who's always thinking about prices and numbers and things like that in order to obtain cooperation from whoever who's doing business with or whoever he's dealing with. And that bleeds over into that person's personal life in relationships. And that's what I'm trying to explain before getting cut off, right? The CEO is different from the employee. The CEO is looking and is living their lives through a completely different lens. So when we're talking about financial abuse and that could be the CEO versus someone who just normally has money or six figures or whatever, who genuinely has an interest in a person. Then money doesn't matter. Then, you know, here's the key to the safe. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to come across. So let me play this a little bit more. I think there's like 5 minutes left, but let me play this a little bit more. And then you'll at least understand what I'm trying to get at.
Let's not go to the minority.
No. We're talking about men with money. We're talking. Yeah. That's the subject. Are
we talking about billionaires?
But we're talking. No. We're talking about two different men. The man who loves Bo and who may have always been in love with Bo since middle school or Rugrats or whatever, he's going to most likely share his wealth with her and cater to her because of how that candle has been burning forever. Versus someone he just met on some Tinder profile or
that's
he
not
just met at a convention.
That's not the question.
So right here, I'm trying to make that comparison. I'm trying to make that correlation that I'm like, you guys are talking about two different men. The man who loves Bo, like since, you know, 5th grade, or the man who genuinely loves Bo, no, he just happens to be a millionaire or he happens to have money. But since he genuinely loves her or any woman or whatever, he doesn't need to. He's not using money as a leverage in order to get cooperation from her. He's always loved her. He loves her for all the right reasons, and just so happens to have money. And he's willing to cater to her only because of how he feels, and how he feels is genuine. It's not like he looks at her as an object to be bought and sold, like the CEO I was trying to explain. You see what I'm saying? So when I said the CEO and how he wheels and deals, I was cut off. So I tried it again. I said, you're talking about two different men. The man who loves Bo since the sandbox or since 5th grade is going to treat her differently than the guy who met her on Tinder or whatever. The guy who met her on Tinder, that CEO I was talking about, doesn't know how to even, he treats people all the same, meaning, what's your price? Like, what do I have to buy you? What's this going to cost me? Like that kind of mindset. There is no like genuine connection or feeling. And I can't get that idea out because he keeps cutting me off. And it's no shade or whatever. It's just it's just problematic. Like when you're on when I'm on the panel and you have to explain when you're sitting back, when you're me, I guess, and you're sitting back and you're listening to two people discuss a topic about, the topic is men with money. So men with money, you can use money as leverage to manipulate and this and that, if that's what you're used to, or if that's how your thinking is, versus another man with money, which is a completely different person who just happens to meet a girl or is in love with a girl or really likes this girl, and he just happens to have money, you know. When I say happens to have money, he can be a CEO as well. But the way he feels about this one chick, he's willing to share everything he has with this girl, 50-50 or whatever the case may be, right? He's not the one using money as leverage versus the other guy who only looks through the lens of how much is this going to cost me, things like that. I'm trying to come across I'm trying to get that message across, but with the interruption, it sounds all, my message sounds all jumbled because he jumps to some kind of conclusion and interrupts and wait. I'm like, nah, bro, you got to let me like finish and then you'll understand what I'm saying. And everybody on the panel is kind of following what I'm saying, but it's just like, bro. So I couldn't get that out. So this is why so first of all, this is why I'm even doing the kind of rehash of me being on the panel and me saying stuff. And second, like I can at least do this rewatch and be like, okay, I'm trying to say something right there and it's not coming out because I keep getting interrupted. And people sometimes get triggered because they don't understand what you're saying, because they believe what you're saying it takes too long to understand, or whatever the case may be. They don't understand it, so they feel the need to like stop you and cut you off. And I'm like, bro, nah. You need to take a Ritalin or something. Like, I need to be able to like convey my idea so that everybody will understand that you guys are talking past each other and you're talking about two different people. That's what I'm trying to convey.
You think most men with money are generous and treat their women good, or do you think most men with money are financially abusive towards their women? That's the question I'm asking you.
Most men with money can treat their women good, even their side pieces, right? Their main women and their side women.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
See, so he wanted to like make this general statement that most men with money can treat their women, treat their women generously in order to win point, right? He wanted to win the point rather than understand what I'm saying. You're making he's making the generalization that most men with money treat their women good, but that's not it. The reason I respond the way I did is because I said most men with money can. I never said most men with money will. Most men with money, if they can pay for access to women, they'll do so, right? If that's easier, if they find that to be easier. Other men with money can be interested in the one woman and don't have to leverage money in order to acquire said woman, and is willing to be generous and share that not only with his wife or said woman, but a side piece too. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why I think he wanted to win the argument so bad he was unwilling to understand my point, because my point was, you guys are talking about two different men. You're not talking about, you can't make this generalization that men with money treat their women well, because we don't know most men with money. So, I mean, they have most men with money can and have the opportunity to treat their women well. Whether or not they do it is unbeknownst to us, but they have the option. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, let me see where this goes.
Since I believe there's a minority of men who are financially abusive and controlling it. And again, I'm still trying to figure out what that financially abusive is. Typically, it's like a man asking his woman to budget because she likes to spend. Women love spending money.
There's that, but there's a business aspect too.
So can you give me an example of how a man can be financially abusive?
Withholding money. Like, he gets mad at you and now I'm not giving you nothing. Or he'll buy you things, but he'll take those things right back from you. Like, they do a lot of different things, like, just because they feel a way. Men will do that. Like, especially like men who are married with wives that don't work, like, they'll withhold money. I need gas money. What you need gas money for? You're not going nowhere, so you don't need it. Like, that's abusive.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I guess if people are withholding money, that is extremely abusive. But we don't think most men are doing that, do we?
I still think you guys are speaking to
Let me interrupt, because I was trying to.
Okay, so True was about to say something. His name was True Table. He's listening to the exact same conversation that I'm listening to. And what he's trying to say is that you guys are speaking past each other. You're talking about two different people. So he was the one who wanted to interject and shed more light to the conversation. This is what happens. And it's not no shade or anything. This is what happens on a panel when it's messy and you get interrupted. When you get interrupted, had I been able to make my point more articulately, they both would have probably agreed to what I've said, or what I was trying to convey, which is you're talking past each other because you're talking about two different men. Bo is right talking about one kind of man who this, like I said, the CEO mindset that says, what's the price? Because I'm dealing with this person, whether it be a person I'm doing business with or I'm in a relationship with, I deal with them the same way because that's the only mindset I understand and how I win. So that's one personality type versus the other personality type, and we're not able to articulate. Me or True Table are not able to articulate because they're speaking past each other. They think that they're talking about the exact same guy who has money or a group of men who have money, and they're not. They're talking about two different people, two different men with money, and they keep trying to like one up each other or something. So it's just it gets kind of messy. I'll leave it there. Like messy is a good term, but that's what you just heard. You just heard two people speaking past each other who are unwilling to have someone who can articulate, hey, you're both talking about something completely different. You're talking about men with money, that's the topic, but you're talking about a certain type of person over here who would do that versus someone over here who wouldn't. And you needed that context, and they just didn't get it.
Get in there and say something.
Go ahead, dog.
No, go ahead. Go. I mean, I don't know if you caught it, but if you didn't, just go ahead and go. I'll just wait again.
Well, I think when we're speaking again, I think men do this. We romanticize this idea that you have the money and then women are just flocking to these men with money. I firmly believe, just in reality, to go outside, women are still, they want the best of both. They're not going to compromise treatment for money most cases. We see very, very few women who will do that. That is not the common woman. Like abundance, I'm sorry, it's just not.
Stop right there. Stop right there. If we walked into a building, there were 20 men.
So it's just like kind of, so you see what I'm saying? Like, so True, so True Table's trying to make a point, right? He's making the point relatively the same kind of way I'm trying to make the point and explain it. But it's not, he gets interrupted. You see what I'm saying? So he's unable to articulate what he's trying to get out simply because of the interruption, and it's triggering because no one can express themselves. When you have someone that kind of like over talks and is overbearing, then nobody's making any sense. They suck out all of the oxygen in the room. And it's like, dude, you need to sit and listen to the whole entire idea before you interrupt and say stop. Like, nah, he doesn't need to stop. You need to listen to what he has to say, and that's something that he's gonna have to work on. That's a him thing. I mean, no shade, but it's just like you heard the same thing I did. So hey, I mean, yo, but yeah. So let me I guess continue. There's like 2 minutes left.
Men to the right with abundance of money, and there was 20 men to the right that would love women for life. They don't have no money. Who would women pick?
If she could visibly see who has more, just visibly, you're talking money?
These guys over here don't have wealth, but they'll love you for life. These guys right here, they might not be the most loving, but they can take care of you financially for life. They have wealthy. Who would women pick? Most women in modern today, would they pick the men who are wealthy? They might not be loving you as much. They're not going to be detrimental to you, but they might not be able to love you as much, the best, and the way you would want to be loved. But these men here, they don't have money. They don't have money to their name.
So it's a question of what are women choosing, like love or money? But it's a pigeonholed question based off of like trying to be right or trying to make a point. The problem is True Table needs to make his point first. His point is more important than the question that's being asked. Yes, we know that women are choosing money over love. Yes, we know that. That's not a point that you need to make. The point that True Table needs to make is more important because he had something to say, and so did I. So that was pretty much the end of that clip anyway, or that demonstration of a clip. So let me go ahead and exit out of there. Okay, now I'm big on YouTube again. Let me take off these glasses because it's kind of hurting my ear. You know, I don't know how y'all get past the thing. I don't really need glasses. These are computer glasses for the LED. But anyway, beside the point. Let me go ahead and close that one out. And everything wants to cost money. Let me close that one out. And let me see. Okay. So I don't know if this was the same panel. This is the same panel, I believe, and this is me talking about how men can't really opt out of their duties and responsibilities in any way, shape, or form. Give me 1 second to load this all up, and let me go ahead and that's a picture type of deal. Let me share my screen again, and men can't opt out. Okay, so the title of this one, I guess if you're on TikTok, you want to go to YouTube, the title of the clip is Men Can't Opt Out, Panel Less Speeches After Man Drops Reality Check. And let me go ahead. Okay, let me make sure that it's working. Okay, good. So let me rewind it by a second and start this from scratch. Okay, good. And I'm not sure if I'm making the point right now or whatever, but you'll hear it. And also, if you agree or disagree or whatever, just please leave a comment and let me know what you disagree on. Let me know if I'm bugging, if I'm tripping, if I'm just full of it. But at least you know where I'm coming from, because I can fully articulate what I was trying to get at. Now that we're just doing a rewatch and I'm not on the panel live and in person, right? So let's go through this one, and then if I'm interrupted again, I guess I'll pause it and articulate what I'm trying to say, or if I've said it. An example in their family. Does everybody have an example in their family or friend circle of a healthy marriage or long-term relationship that's gone on for years and years and years, and then everyone's have access to them to at least talk and say, hey, well, what's the secret? Because my father has been married to my stepmom for over 30 years. So when I get the chance to talk to him with the modern era and everything, I'm like, yo, can you just tell me again, the secret sauce in this ingredients and stuff? And I lived with him for a while, but from what I learned is I now have a standard about what I want my marriage to look like. I'm going to be old. I'm going to be arguing with my wife all the time over stupid stuff, but I love you, or I forgive you, and all these nurturing languages is going to come right after that. Dinner's still going to be ready at 7. I'm still going to be picking her up at 5 when she's off of work. Like for 30 years, right? They both have the option to check out and leave, and neither one did. And the only way this marriage is ending is in the casket. That's what I want, and that should be everybody's standard of what they want. No, that's my only argument.
That's only like a piece of it. But like, what's the standard going to look like for the family?
Hold on, JR.
That's what's broken.
Yeah.
No,
So yeah, that's so. I think I made my point pretty clear, right? So my father's married over 30 years to the same woman. The things that they've had to deal with during those 30 years, infidelity is one of them, lying's one of them, arguing and, all of the drama and the rigmaroles of a relationship and a marriage they've gone through. And each person in a relationship can give up and quit anytime they feel like it, but they don't. They choose each other for the past 30 years. And the only way either one's checking out is when they die. And that should be the standard of what everybody's kind of looking for. Someone to just rock with till the wheels fall off, right? And divorce, I'm pretty sure my father's thought about it. I'm pretty sure my stepmom's thought about it, right? everyone's going to think about leaving. Well, should I, shouldn't I? But they choose each other despite having those thoughts, which are perfectly healthy and human. But that's kind of the standard that I want. I want to be able to have an argument with the same person over some stupid stuff, and then, hey, I'm sorry, but also, no matter how contentious their disagreements or arguments are, their dinner is still ready. Like I've heard, I used to live with my dad for like 2 years, I believe, something like that. I live with my dad off and on. He's in Houston anyway, but I live with him off and on, in the guest bedroom, whatever. But they argue over stupid stuff. Sometimes they come and get me and then like, settle this for us. Who's right, who's wrong. I'm like, oh, okay. So I've learned the trick though. The trick is that usually when they argue, they're both right. Like in this context, he's right, and in this context, you're right. So you guys are just talking past each other over the semantics. But in this context, I see what he's saying, and in this context, I know what you're saying is right. So you both aren't wrong. It's just that you're talking past each other, and you guys need to listen to each other and get the full context, and then you'll both understand each other. And I end the argument like that, and there's nothing left to be said. Because there's nothing left to be said. They like to argue because they want to argue their points. The problem is that they need to get the context in order to make the argument more sound and in order to say, yeah, I agree. So I'm in the outside arbiter. So they come and get me as the therapist to settle an argument. And they know I'm a software engineer, so they know I'm smart. They're like, they come to me and they're like, can you settle this for me? Is this? I'm like, oh, well, yeah. And see, and I'm like, wait a minute. What is he saying? Let me, Dad. So what were you saying? And then, oh, well, yeah. In his time, in his day, yeah, that's right. But times have changed and things evolve, and now this has turned into that. And it's like, and it forces them. When I settle these arguments between, my mom and my stepmom and my dad, sometimes they have to, when I finish speaking, they're both forced to stop and think about what is being said. And it's like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. And then the argument ends and it's settled and all that. So I've learned to kind of, you don't take a side and say, he's right, you're wrong, he's, you know what I mean? I don't do that. I say, oh, I see what both of y'all are saying, but you're not talking deep enough into the conversation to understand what each other is saying. You guys are you both are standing on, basic principles. It just depends. And there's an age gap between my dad and my stepmom too. I believe he's 80 something, she's 60 something. So it's like a 20-year age gap. So there's a generational thing that's kind of going on too. But anyway, let me just get back to the clip, and then with the context that I'm just letting you guys know, just filling you in.
Enter the Dragon. I would say this is where it's great to look to people's marriages as examples of what to aspire to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know oftentimes we talk about the people that you really want to talk to is the ones that are in marriages for that stand the test of time. But also what I've learned is not only do you want to talk to people that have marriages that stand the test of time, but you want to talk to people who are invested in your marriage standing the test of time. Because oftentimes your parents may be married for 30 years, but they don't give a damn about your wife. And then give a damn about your marriage standing the test of time. And I noticed that like talking to my parents, and they've had their issues and things like that. But when they went to my grandmother and them for advice, because that was the person that was their mediator, and then it became I think my sister for a bit, but then it started to become me.
Right.
And that's because I'm invested in my parents staying together. So I talk to them in a way that helps them understand one another. Because even my parents come to me for advice when they're having issues, or they go.
See, he's talking about what I'm talking about. like like what I was just explaining earlier, like my parents come to me with when they have issues to settle an argument and find out who's right and who's wrong. So he's exactly right. I've lived through exactly what he's talking about. That's why I didn't really need to say anything. I needed to. All I did was say, I was co-signing because I understood it.
Going through something, because oftentimes even when it comes to a therapist, you want to go to a therapist that's invested in y'all marriage staying together, not one that's invested in just trying to either take one person's side over the other, or invested in y'all ending that relationship.
Right.
Because the person that gives a damn about your relationship is the one that's going to give you the best advice.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Also, one thing though, I did want to address this one before JR ends it. When Ali and Enter the Dragon were talking about women opting out, right? It was derived from Miss Pearl's statement where she said sometimes we're tired. So Enter the Dragon was talking about how there's no instance where men can opt out of their responsibility just willingly and it be mostly okay. Yes, there are examples where men walk away from their responsibility and you can't make a motherfucker stay who don't want to stay, but it's largely not okay for them to do that. Even if you talk about within a relationship, there's hardly ever a time where a man can say, I'm too tired to go to work, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm too tired to take care of the family, so I'm just not going to do it. Whereas women can oftentimes tell us what they're not going to do in a relationship because they're tired of doing it. And they can go out to society and tell them, I'm tired of doing this. And society will be like, all right, well, if you're not getting what you want out of that, it's okay to walk away. We can't go and be like, hey, y'all, man, I've been busting my ass for this family. I don't feel like working no more, man. I'm ready to leave this woman. The expectation of the load of taking care of this family is too much for me. I'm ready to go. It would never be mostly accepted. And that's what we're talking about. It's not even just about who files for divorce more. It's about even in divorce, our social contract is still there, at least to the woman and children. Even in divorce, he is still expected. If he makes more money than her and she had to live off of him, he's expected to take care of her and them kids. Even if he only made $60,000 and she made nothing. If he earns more than her, he's going to be expected to pay her and take care of those children financially. She has no responsibility to that man once she files for divorce or once she leaves him. Our social contract is still expected.
Enforced. It's not expected. It's enforced. It is enforced.
But so I think that given a good reason, because we have to understand the reasons why women are like, I'm tired. There's no empathy there to understand why the woman says she's tired. Now, flippantly, I'm just tired. No woman is going to condone that. Like you're going to condone a woman just leaving her family because she woke up and she was unhappy for absolutely no reason. There are women that have done that and they're not widely accepted. But we are acting like these women don't have a good reason for feeling this way. And I get it. Y'all are men. Y'all don't understand. I woke up one day and was like, I'm going to find me an apartment because I was tired of the same old and nothing being fixed. I was a shell of my own self and I was tired. So I got up, I found an apartment and I moved. So I want y'all to understand, I ain't have no kids. I didn't leave no kids. I just left the husband. We can't hear you, Ilkan. You're muted.
On the computer,
you're muted on the actual stage. There you go.
Good now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What needed to be fixed?
Too many things to name. way too many things to name. We can get into it off this live, but so many things.
It's the reason why I ask is the modern man has to help with cooking. He has to help with cleaning. He has to help with raising the kids. He has to help with being home with the kids. He has to help with washing the clothes.
No, I know.
No, let me
go ahead.
The woman can say, I don't feel like being with the kids today. The woman can say, I don't feel like having sex today. The woman can say, I don't feel like cooking today. Sweeney, I don't feel like working anymore. Can I come home? I don't want to work anymore. The man is always obligated, where the woman always has the option to not do her job, and is supported by society. That's all I'm saying. And this is what I was going to ask you, Bo. Mm-hmm. Tell me the core responsibilities that a man has that he can take a break from versus the core responsibilities that women have they can always take breaks from. What is the core responsibility that a man can take a break from?
Children.
How?
Okay, so for a minute there, I didn't know what she meant by being tired and I'm tired of all this. I got myself an apartment. I can only speculate that it must have been the context of a relationship that wasn't working, right? I mean, when we're talking about a house or a car, I mean, those are finite things. You call a plumber or you call a construction worker, you call somebody to fix these things. But if we're talking about a relationship, you pick up, you pack up, and you leave, right? In that context. So I'm thinking that she meant the context of a relationship that needed to be fixed. There were so many things that were broken that couldn't be fixed. So I'm thinking that's in the context of a relationship, which means she was tired of dealing with all of the things that were broken about the relationship that couldn't be fixed. So she got herself an apartment, or packed up everything and got herself an apartment, and then she's done with it. At least that's what I'm speculating on. When we're talking about tired, the word tired means that that you've exhausted all of your energy in the context of either a job or a relationship or something like that. You're tired, meaning you have no energy left to give to this thing. So the point I made earlier, I don't have a clip of that. I mean, there is a clip of that, I'm sure. But I was saying that it doesn't matter the context of anything when it comes to men. Men don't have the option to just say, I'm tired and I'm checking out, or I'm tired of paying bills, so I won't pay the bills this month or next month or whatever. I'm still tired. Well, I'm tired, so I don't want to go to work today. And I think I used the work as an example. I said, if can you imagine a man saying, I'm tired, I'm taking a me day. You get fired. Someone else will do that job. That is like, our obligations aren't something that we get to opt out of at any point. I mean, we can say I'm tired of taking out the trash, but the trash is going to pile up and punctify the whole house. So it doesn't matter how tired we are. We just can't opt out of our obligations and responsibilities, such as women like women can. And that was the point I did make earlier that Sweeney was speaking to. So like I said, we're talking about that context. So when Ilkan Ali was talking about, well, what can we opt out of that women don't, that women can opt out of anything, out of almost anything. So what exactly can a man opt out of if he's tired? And so Bo says children. So this is within the context of children. This is what we're discussing.
They do it every day, even in marriage. Do you know how many single mothers are married with the husband in the house?
No.
There are a lot of men. I am a product. I'm a product of a man being in the house and not being a parent until it was time to beat ass. I'm just saying, like, men do it every day. Men are very hands off with their kids. But the men that you're talking about that actually take care of their kids, I get it. Like, this is where two things can be true at the same time. I am telling a truth, and so are you. I'm not discounting what you're saying or what Sweeney's saying or Internet Dragon. I'm not, like, all of y'all are telling the truth, but so am I. That's all I'm saying.
No, when you say kids, the man's core responsibility is he's supposed to be at work. The woman would be with the children. That was her core responsibility.
You all have a physical responsibility to take care of those children as well.
She's supposed to implement what I taught the kid. That's the reason why the woman used to be there, where the man would go to work and the woman would raise the children, and she'd implement what he gave her. That used to be a traditional man went to work and the traditional woman was at home, and I came on and gave her my check. And you better do what your mama said. She was my other half.
Right.
So that used to be so I'm saying, what is the core responsibility that the man takes breaks from? You can't say the children part, because that was the woman's core responsibility. I get where you're coming from, though. I know what you're saying. But what is
that was an added responsibility to men. Like being the same person
that wasn't my job.
Y'all are is an added responsibility.
Yeah, that wasn't my job.
But you are not a husband. You are a father, and as a father, you are a parent, and you have parental duties. When you get home, those kids are yours. When you go to work, great, fine. The woman is there. But when you come home, those kids are yours, and you have a physical responsibility to those kids when you are in that house. And there are a lot of men that are not physically present with their children when they are physically in the home. They will largely ignore those kids. I'm talking about drinking a beer, sitting on the chair, sitting in a chair, watching the game. Okay. And was in the house, and my mother was the one we always went to because he was unavailable to us. That's what I'm saying. You all still have a physical responsibility to those kids when you have time at home.
That's what
I agree. First of all, I agree. And second, I understand about the father who comes home from work, checks out into the man cave, and the kids can be heard throughout the house. And the only person who's dealing with it is mama, who has to also cook and handle everything else while the man just sits there. I get that. And that is a kind of common or average kind of modern lifestyle. But when it comes to discipline, and when it comes to structure, and when it comes to, okay, don't let me get your dad, like we do physically have to show up to discipline those kids if they're running you rampant, right? We do take command of the household when need be. So if this burden of parenting gets too great for you, that's really when you need to be using the man that you have to enforce that discipline and let them kids know they can't just act any kind of way, because there are consequences that the father and only the father can implement that the children do not want.
And also to add,
so hopefully everyone understood that point that I made. First of all, I did agree with what she was saying. Like, we're not in the modern era with all of the distractions that men have, such as sports and gaming and or social media, YouTube, whatever, that we got going on. We do check out of the daily, let's go to the park and all kinds of, let's go get ice cream and leave it to Beaver, whatever the kind of sort of thing was, right? I understand that. And I understand that being a parent is more than just us being in our man cave couch, that we must actively participate, but we don't actively participate in the same way that the mother does. Only because the mother is going to be more available and reachable for kids, right? Kids go to their mama for everything, but it doesn't mean that the kids can't go to their father for things. It's just that by default, since they spend more time with the mother has takes more of the load of handling children, but the load is to be shared. It's always meant to be shared, meaning kids are rambunctious creatures that can tear up everything. But if you want those kids to have both discipline and structure, meaning they can't just do anything because there are consequences, you need to use your husband, who is the father, or your boyfriend, who's whatever the case may be, because only the father or using or invoking the father means discipline. It means do what I say, because if you don't, I'm going to get the man and you're going to do what he says. Do I need to go get the man or not? And depending on how undisciplined the kids are, if you just need to call my name, you're in trouble. The kids know they're in trouble. The kids are in trouble. If my name is invoked, the kids are in trouble and it's too late. You done fucked up, right? Because I'm coming in and I'm laying down the law, and that it's consequences that these kids don't want. They know what comes with me coming off that couch in that game room. I'm on Call of Duty or whatever game I'm playing, and my wife got to come get me because y'all are oh no. I have to either put the game on pause or get out of the lobby or whatever it is, and I need to lay down the law, and the kids will know. They'll. This is the part where having a father in the house or a man in the house is so important in child rearing. You're not going to get this discipline no matter what the mom says or does. You're never going to instill the type of discipline required so that kids are well behaved. Only a man can bring that. And this is one of the irreplaceable values, tangible values that a man can bring into a household. And we keep downplaying in the modern era, oh, I was a mom and a dad. No, you weren't. You can never be the dad. You can never bring type of discipline and structure that a man can, because a man is a completely different animal than you are, in such a manner that my voice brings discipline. If I say sit down and shut up, you'll see them change their behavior. You can yell and scream all you want to as a woman. They'll yell and scream right back at you. It's my voice that carries more weight, because I carry with my weight of my voice physical consequences that these kids don't want. I will beat their ass, and they don't want that. So kids understand strength versus weakness. They can smell it. They can hear it. And by God, they do not want to feel it. So, I mean, it is what it is. But this is the point that I'm trying to make. Like, this is what I was trying to make in that era. Yeah, we're checked out because we're mentally somewhere else or whatever, or we're at peace and mom's dealing with the kids. But those kids are not supposed to run you so ragged and you're so stressed out that it breaks you. You know what I'm saying? It breaks you mentally as a woman. Like when she says she was tired, well, I'm tired of dealing with these kids. No, that's what, you know what I'm saying? That's where the man comes in. He can carry that load, that burden. That burden is unnecessary. The burden of child rearing is unnecessary for a woman to carry by herself if there's a man around or if there's a father figure around. Because with a father figure, any father figure is discipline and structure and consequences that kids need in order to behave correctly when you need them to. I mean, kids are supposed to be playing outside anyway until it's dark. I mean, that's what it was when I was coming up. But anyway, I don't want to ramble too long. There's about 2-something minutes left. Let me go through it. Sweeney was about to say something.
To that.
Wait a minute, hold on. Press pause. Hold on. Press pause, Sweeney. I'm so sorry. Because, and see, that's why I didn't do this yesterday. I turned the chat off yesterday. But to all of the degenerate idiots in the chat, my father is dead. Okay? I did the work before he died. I came to peace with all of the things, with all of that before he died. I am not bitter. I do not resent him. But the facts are still the facts. It doesn't change anything that actually happened. So you can't y'all got to stop calling women bitter just because they're speaking on things that happened. Just because I'm healed doesn't make everything sunshine and roses and rainbows, and I don't get to rewrite history about this man. He was a great, charismatic, creative man. Terrible, terrible, terrible father. I don't know what to tell you, but it was cool before he passed because I took care of him. myself. So shut the fuck up. Go ahead, Sweeney. I'm sorry.
Oh Lord. All right, to add to what you said, Bo, even if that is the case, let's say for the sake of argument, that is a core responsibility, right? That is still a responsibility that you would have perfect grounds for leaving him for. And nobody would bat an eye if you did it. Now, tell me a situation where a woman can say, oh, I was too tired to watch the kids today, or I'm too tired to deal with the kids. And it'd be like you can, like, even if you wanted to add that to a core responsibility of a man, it would still be something that would be good enough of a reason for you to walk away from us, and it'd be justified, because it's largely accepted that men have accepted more shit on our plate. And society today is still not actually expected of y'all to put food on the table, to unless y'all are by yourselves. If you're with a man, it is not an expectation that if you don't work, hey, he can leave your ass if you don't go to work. You can still opt out of that. On top of being able to opt out of being a mom, you know how many women I know that talk about men that not only pay all the bills and work, but also do more for the kids than they do. And there's countless women saying that's the love I need. And I'm like, ain't that an unfair deal that y'all been complaining about for like the last 30 years? But now all of a sudden y'all saying that this is a fair deal for a man to go work 60 hours a week, come home and watch the kids, cook for everybody all at the same time, and you're doing nothing but living in your soft girl era?
Okay. Yeah. So he landed his plane, and that was the end of the clip. So, and that was a point too, that he was making. Like, women can again opt out of the relationship due to, he's not helping me with his kids or whatever. So that would be another thing that they would opt out of, and a legitimate reason that they would opt out of that society would approve of. So, there's that one. Okay. So I'm on the same panel. This is later on in the conversation, I believe. This, like, right here, right now, where I'm stopping at. Some people dropped off the panel, so there's only 5 of us, including the host. So, we were talking about men, and we were talking about the perfect gift that a woman can give a man, and let me bring that up right now. So we get the context or whatever, because rather than I think the context was Valentine's Day. Well, it's coming up, right? So Valentine's Day, which is, chocolates and, flowers, and, we do the most for women during Valentine's Day in order to kind of win over their affections and things like that. So the question was asked, well, what do y'all want? Well, you say, I think it's like, I want to say the context was, you should know what we want for Valentine's Day, and you should know what a woman wants. And like, okay, well, what are you getting for your man? What are you doing for your man? What kind of gift are you? If he's doing all this stuff, if we're expected to do all this stuff and get you all these things, what are you doing for the things, like in reciprocation? Like, what are you doing? What kind of gift are you giving us? And so I think Miss Pearl, who's right here on the panel, was like, well, what do you want? And I said, okay, I got the perfect gift. So the clip is called Lapeef Network. First of all, Lapeef Network. Check it out. Please check it out and subscribe and all that. The perfect gift for a husband is another woman. So it says panel explodes after man drops brutal truth, and that's me. But I'll explain it why. Hey, let's get right into it. Agree, disagree, again, comment and underneath this video and let me know why, things like that. Okay, so everyone started tripping. Like everyone started laughing. Like everyone started giggling a little bit. Well, especially the men. Like there's me and there's 3 other guys on the panel. But yeah, they started cracking up after I said that. But we were cracking up because I was right and it was true. And we're gonna find out why. Give me a minute. So someone in the comments wrote, like, really? And then another person in the comments was like laughing. They were cracking up. Like they have all like smile emojis or whatever. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on I was clip, but I didn't I need to actually share my screen. Let me share my screen. And then perfect gift. There it is. Okay, there it goes. Okay, so let me go back. Okay, now if you're on YouTube, or you know, if you watch this clip back later, you'll actually see me, you know, whatever comment. Anyway, let me just unpause this. Hang on. Let me rewind it a little bit and then go ahead.
Did the build up? It was like a flat balloon.
I'm dead serious.
Okay, so that okay, so EBD, you get the request, right? But what if your wife or your woman, your wife, because you said it was a long-term relationship or marriage. What if your woman and the other woman start their own thing and you out?
What part of the game is that?
I'm just
okay. I'd have to accept the consequences.
Absolutely.
But let me tell you what happens the night of and the night after. First of all, it's I love you. I ain't gonna leave you. Anything that you want, you got. I got the baddest chick ever. It's all on all my social media posts. That thing that you always wanted, all of a sudden it's in the big red box with a bow. That purse, all that stuff, anything you want. It's like Aladdin finding the genie.
May that type of love never find me.
Wait.
I never want a man like that.
Just because you did this one thing. That's it.
EBD, can she bring a man in?
That's a different conversation.
I
don't think so. I don't even know why she went there. She went there though. She's like, she's being another man. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, that's a different conversation. And it is. It is. Because this is the context of what a man wants. But yeah, she had to go there. Oh, she had to go there. But yeah, it's a different conversation altogether, because you know, whatever. But let me but that's why I said that. I'm like, you know, because I'm not gonna say, you know, I'm immediately not gonna say yes. I mean, that's gonna have to be a conversation. So that's a context of a very, very healthy and secure relationship if you're gonna have that kind of conversation. Not to say that you know, I mean, there are married couples 20, 30, 40 years who have been in and out of this type of, you know, ordeal. But yeah, I mean, for me, immediately, no. I mean, my immediate answer should have been no. But then again, it would make me a hypocrite. And you know, part of me would be a hypocrite. Well, we're all hypocrites. It just depends on what the topic is, right? But yeah, I mean, what I will say is that that's a conversation. That's gonna have to be a different conversation than, you know, adding on another woman. So at least I answered the question though. Like I didn't. It's not like I skated around it. So one thing. That's it.
EBD, can she bring a man in?
That's a different conversation. I don't think so. That ain't a gift. That's a gift for you.
You asked that man what gift would he want. He told you. He said, "Look, man, on his birthday." He done bought you.
He wanted
that's
a
the
gift.
gift
I
she
want one
wants.
too.
If you don't,
No,
if you
see,
don't
you know
understand what a man
Bro,
wants,
this nigga
any man, any man,
weird.
yeah, any
No, I
man, any
didn't.
man. I'm telling you,
That's because it's another
15-year
man.
marriage,
This is another
10-year
man.
marriage,
This
some
is
anniversary.
another woman, and it was on me.
It's old, it's stale. Bring in another woman and see how he
May
treats you for the
that
rest of your
type
life.
of man never
Rest of your
find.
life.
Arrest me, daddy.
Never want that.
Rest of your life.
If the number one
What's he gonna
thing,
tell you? No.
if the
No.
number one
Yes.
thing that my man wants is another woman, left immediately. Left.
And that's
Gone.
gonna be your problem if you don't accept it. It's always gonna be the dynamic of the factor.
That's not my problem.
Wait. Men are always gonna want another woman, just like women want another pair of shoes. I mean, I don't understand. Like you want us to accept no matter like this. Wait.
What you say?
You want us to
Nobody turned
accept.
down
You want us
extra
to. You want us to accept that you have this vacuum to where you can suck in all the resources and buy anything you want to the day you die. But the one thing we may want is another woman, and that's what you're saying that y'all just can't tolerate. We're ending the relationship. He can be this, that, and the other, but just because he wants another woman one day out of the year or whatever the situation is, that's enough to like destroy something? I don't think so.
Child.
Period.
I don't think so. Marriage is supposed to be bigger than that.
I am.
Okay, so that's my point. That's the point that I want to kind of stop and land right now and kind of expand on it, because Bo disagrees, which is fine, and her preference of saying, well, I don't want a man who I'm with, but then he desires another woman because she thinks that a man is supposed to want one woman and one woman only. In the context of a monogamous relationship, yes, but in the context of biology, no. So like well, we're gonna get really into this because this is important. I think that, I mean, first of all, I love the topic and I love the response that I got because it was genuine, right? You can't really hide, behind polite discussion or banter. But this is when I said it, first of all, I meant it. I wasn't kidding. And second of all men on the panel could relate. So it's not like I was just speaking out of my ass, like, or something that was just funny. I was actually being dead ass serious. So let me let's go through the actual exchange and then we'll go from there.
So you're talking to a woman that is not like the average woman. I don't know, like in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways I am. In a lot of ways I'm not. In that way, I'm not. I don't want your money to spend it. I don't care nothing about shoes and purses and none of that stuff. That don't move me. Things don't move. You can look in my closet. I don't have a bunch of shoes. I don't have a bunch of bags. I got like...
You got more than one.
I have more than one and I have less than 10. I don't need all of that. I will carry a backpack every day. My life don't fit in no bag. And it's got to be a big old bag. I will carry a backpack every day. I don't care about none of that. Here's the thing.
Hang on. Can you live with one of everything? Can you live with one of everything?
Everybody could.
Wait. Can you?
Yeah, everybody could. Yes.
But do you live your life that way?
No, I don't.
Does any woman? So you see how I just paused it right there. I'm gonna rewind a little bit, but you see how the hypocrisy. I'm pointing out the hypocrisy between men and women. Like, you want us to accept that you have 10 purses, 20 purses, 30 pairs of shoes, outfits, 2-3 outfits for every occasion, in like you want us to accept the fact that you want everything until the day you die. Like everything. Like you want everything. You want more than one of everything. And the only thing that really men want more than one of is a woman. And what you're saying is that's too much. He needs to get left. He's immediately left. If I run into that man who wants another woman, automatic left. And I'm like, nah. Now That's not a reason to end a relationship, and that's not a reason to end a marriage. Like that isn't. Like that's so. I think, and what I said was like a marriage and a relationship is supposed to be bigger than that. It's supposed to be bigger than just like the one sexual encounter where we add another woman into the mix. That's not a reason enough to end a marriage. It just isn't. Marriage is supposed to be bigger than any kind of sexual escapades you both may encounter. Like it's a commitment that's supposed to last until you're both dead. That these are the vows that you take. So to like willy-nilly like throw away or destroy a relationship based off of a biological truth is that's what I'm kind of like, I guess, triggered by or whatever. So I'm asking her, like, and you heard it. It was deflection. It's, well, everybody can. Well, everybody should, and everybody. You see how it's like, you know, like it's never. It was never direct. I'm being direct, and she's trying to be general, and I'm not having it. I'm just not. So we need to bring this back to a reality that's tangible and that can be found everywhere within nature. Like there are some people who are born with a deformed left or right hand. It doesn't mean we stop making gloves for two-handed people, right? Most people have two well-functioning hands. That's a biological truth that's never going to change. Just because one over here or one over there is not enough to stop making gloves. And the same can be said about a relationship in which both people are functioning in a healthy, happy situation in which they may want to spice it up after 20 or 30 or 40 years of marriage. Like, come on. Let me rewind a little bit. And I'm putting her on trial. I'm like you want more than one of everything. Like, you're not going to tell me that me wanting more than one woman is somehow this big red flag or something that's, you know, something to be shamed and something to be left in a relationship over. I just wasn't having it. Sorry. I mean, yeah, I'm triggered a little bit, but so what? Can you live with one of everything? Throw
everybody
away
could.
Wait. Can you?
Yeah, everybody could. Yes.
But do you live your life that way?
No, I don't.
Does any woman you know live the life that way?
Wait.
One of everything. Wait. I'm asking a generic question. What woman you know has one of everything, and that's what they stick with until they can't stick with it no more?
No person lives like that.
No. Men don't need, are not like women, are not.
But they don't live with one of everything.
But hang on.
But y'all don't live with one of everything.
See, you want us to accept that you can have as many as you want. You can't accept us having one more of what we want.
Period.
That's a problem. That's a mathematical problem.
It's not a problem. What is?
Okay, I'm stopping it right there. That is a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. You want us to accept as men, as a species, that you are to desire and have and acquire more than one of absolutely everything that you want. But the one thing that we want more than one of, you want to use it as some kind of deal breaker. And that's what I'm saying. I just wasn't having it. Sorry. We'll go through the whole thing. And so that you can get the full context, but that really kind of irks me. Sorry.
What goes through a man's mind? Why do you need more than one place to put your dick?
Because we're not satisfied with just one.
Then that's your problem.
Yeah, that's not a problem. It's not.
It is, especially if your woman is not willing to do that. And also,
it's a woman's problem, not ours.
If you need more than one, why are you married? Don't get married. Stop doing that.
What are you talking about? There are plenty of marriages that involve more than one sex partner.
For those that work that works for, stop marrying women who that does not work for. You all keep marrying women who that does not work for.
So
you just want to make it fit. You want to make a round You want to make something square fit into a round hole. You need to go and tell women automatically, hey, this is what I may want another vagina.
Wait a minute.
And
how
give
do
that
you
woman
not
the
understand this throughout all time, space, and history that men want more than one woman sexually? How do you not understand that 2026?
I don't date men like that.
Wait. How is it that you don't know that men want more than one woman 2026? In history, there is not a man that says, I love this woman only, my dick is hard for this woman only, nobody else. Nobody else?
Hold on, Bo.
Who you know?
Hold on.
Wait, sweetie. Who you know?
Hold on, Enter the Dragon. So
I'm asking a question. She needs to answer. She's saying, why do you want more than one? Who do you know that wants just to have sex with one man?
My ex-husband.
He's your ex-husband. He's not having sex anymore? With no women?
He's married. What the fuck? Are you being obtuse?
No.
What are you talking about?
No, I'm being very direct and I'm being very logical. What man do you know just wants to have sex with one woman ever in human history? Human. Yep, there's a commercial. Hang on. All right. Give me a minute. So I asked the question, and I hope you got the context. I just skipped through the commercial, but that's the question. What man do you know wants to have sex with one woman for the rest of his life and doesn't desire to have sex with another woman? Like in all of human history, who do you know that operates that way? Besides the person in your imagination, I would say. Like this is and you're not gonna. Well, anyway, let me just roll. Yes, I'm triggered. Okay, let me just take a sip and just.
We are talking about in a commitment.
Let's talk about a commitment then.
You said when you. A man, if a man's woman provides him this one thing, you're talking about in a committed relationship. I'm speaking from that point. Yes. Now you're just talking about random men.
Okay, let's talk about a committed relationship or marriage.
Enter. Hold on real quick.
Go for it.
Well, here's the thing, Bo. Here's the thing, Bo. It was asked of us, what would be a thing that we can get on a holiday that would probably excite most men? And he just said, hey, look, if you
he said all men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most men, all men, whatever.
Most men, all men.
Take it with a grain of salt. And he said, hey, if you gave him an extra woman for that night, he probably would be the happiest man on planet Earth. I don't know very many men that will turn down extra pussy. They wouldn't be like, how dare you bring in this extra woman?
Get this whore out of my house. How dare you?
My ex-husband actually would have
douche? Did she douche?
If my husband was extremely religious, he would never have done that. That he would have. That's what I'm saying. Like
you want to talk about what the religious people do?
I don't. What I was saying was keep those men away from me. I don't want them.
Wait. What men? The men who want to have sex with more than one woman?
Outside of when you're in a relationship, yes, keep those men away from me. In the context
of a relationship, you're still a man.
Keep them away from me.
Yeah. So this is what I mean when I say healthy relationship, because it's supposed to wait. Here's what a relationship looks like that's healthy. You communicate on everything, even the extra woman. The woman that's going to bring me an extra woman isn't going to do it because I asked her to. She's going to do it because this is something that she knows that I may want to some kind of way and does it unexpectedly on a holiday or because of some random reason. This isn't like a Saturday night or whatever every third week or something like that. This is something that an experience that we'll never forget, we'll always love her for, and we will appreciate for the rest of that month, the rest of that year.
I don't care what y'all do. I don't want them.
You know what?
That's my only point.
Okay, but it's not about you. It's about the man.
I don't care.
It's about what men want. It's not about what women want.
I don't want that man.
You know what?
I want a man that, like, don't get me wrong. Yes, you can be attracted to another woman. You can, like, of course, we have eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can be attracted to other people. We can want to do the things, right? But we wouldn't. That's what I want.
I think here's the thing. Your relationship and your marriages are going to go through all kinds of tests, and infidelity is one of them. And if you cannot get past this ego thing of my thing is supposed to be just in you and only you for the rest of my life till dirt. I'm not saying that's not impossible. I'm saying that's improbable. I'm saying that's an unrealistic expectation. I'm saying that it's not even going to be realistic in any capacity because we no longer live in a time where that would be feasible. I don't remember a time where that was the case, where you just got with one woman and you impregnated her and that's it, game over. Not a single tribe.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. I'm going to figure out a way to explain myself that makes sense to men. One day. I am not speaking. I understand infidelity. I understand that mistakes happen. I'm not saying that they are unforgivable. What I am saying is I'm too fucking old for all of this teenage threesome shit. Sit your old ass down. Shut the fuck up. That's all I'm saying. But what I'm saying, I'm just saying all of this dumbass fantasy shit. But what I'm saying is, like, I'm not speaking about infidelities. People cheat, the things happen.
I'm not talking about infidelity either.
We work through it. We blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
You desire other people. So do I. Like, I can see a fine ass man walking down the street, like, I fuck shit out of him. But I wouldn't, like, actually in reality do it because I'm committed to this person. That's all I'm like. It's okay. I'm gonna go buy a dick, and maybe that'll make me make sense to a man one day because it's like my words don't be making sense unless I got like a phallus. So I don't know.
Guess what, bro? Okay. You know what? You got the perfect screen protector, right? All you got to do if you want to screen out the guy is just offer him a threesome on his birthday, and if he bites, then you can kick him to the curb. Since that's your non-starter, you would know right then and there what's available to you and what ain't.
All I want him to say is, man, I've been there, done that. I ain't got time for that. Because we don't.
Wait a minute.
Nobody got time for that.
That's a lie.
Got energy.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Whoever says, "Hey, I'm too old and I'm done with that," if he says that and you believe him, and all of a sudden, you know, you bring it up or he hints in some kind of way, and you get that bait and you go for it, he ain't too tired. He'll pop another pill and he'll take you both on. That's just what it is.
If a man that I'm with needs a pill, we got a problem.
Well, look, it's never too much. It's never too much. Not
Bo, you know, I was about to. Oh man, hey JR, cut the live, man, because I was about to cut Bo out.
Yeah. So I'll say this one more thing, and then I'm out of here.
I'm just playing.
So while I think that is a great birthday gift or any day gift for that matter, I will say that it is not realistic to believe that you can be in a relationship where a man's not going to cheat. The highest reports are under 40%. The lowest reports report as low as 20%. So men typically don't cheat. So it's not unrealistic for you to think that a man won't do that. Will he be much happier if you decided to give him that gift? Surely. But it doesn't mean that it's impractical to expect a man to be faithful.
You know the one thing that a man will be worried about.
Hold on. So we gotta do the back chat, man.
Oh shit!
It's like the last time you said something, it went on for another 25 minutes.
I'm gonna go on for another 20 seconds. I was just gonna say that I had a caveat. The only reason why a man will be worried about that threesome is if you try to double back and ask him, can you get another guy? If you gave him a woman and he didn't have to worry about you wanting another man somewhere,
because I sure would.
They wouldn't have no problem with it.
Man, that's nasty though.
But that's Pandora's box.
No, it's real nasty. But I still say it.
What if a man told you, "No, I'm good. I guarantee you that is probably the first thing that came to his mind is, all right, that's gonna open up Pandora's box. I know she's gonna probably ask me one day down the line, and I ain't going for
I mean, if you're thinking about that, then you got a bigger problem.
Yeah, he was right about that. So that was the end of the clip. But anyway, so give me your feedback on what the fuck I just said. So because nah, man, nah. I was dead ass when I said that. I was dead serious. I'm like, bruh, I mean, in the context of a long-term relationship or a marriage, you know, things get stagnant and things get old, like over time. I mean, that's not something outrageous to say, but bringing in another woman for a man, anyway, as a man, you're catering to our biology, you're catering to our needs, and in return, we're willing to make any type of investment into your happiness that that you may want. I don't think it's out of line or out of bounds for a woman to provide her husband or boyfriend another woman sexually on this occasion or that occasion. Now, when it talks about the reverse, you know, it's different because men and women are completely different, right? That's a different conversation because you'd have to bring in someone you trust, such as, and I guess I'll speak to it because it is a fair argument. You have to bring in someone you trust that won't try and take your woman from you or try to be the backdoor man, texting her, trying to be the DL dude. You know what I'm saying? So with women, it's different. If a wife brings in her girlfriend or brings in this girl or whatever, maybe they've done it before, or maybe they've talked about it and then they want to do it. There shouldn't be a concern of me trying to hit up old girl behind my wife's or girlfriend's back because words always don't get back to her. Number one. Number two, that's just a shady thing to do. But it is something that would be appreciated and something that would be remembered and something that it's, first of all, it's free. And second of all, it's real, right? So there are marriages that involve, you know, sex with other partners every once in a while in order to keep things up. What do you keep hearing in long-term relationships and marriages? Keep it spicy, spice things up, mix it up, bring this in or bring that in or something for a while. Do it as long as you're both communicating and on the same page, and there are rules and structures behind that. There shouldn't really be any problems, right? I think the problem in long-term relationships and marriages is the cheating, the infidelity, the going behind the back, the cheating, the texting of this other person. Hey, why don't you come over? My wife's not home or my husband's not home. That's the dirty underhandedness that needs to be. I think that type of deception and it is painful. And it breaks up a lot of relationships and ends a lot of relationships, right? I mean, a lot of relationships are based off of whether or not you can be quote unquote faithful. And faithful in a monogamous relationship shouldn't be too hard if you're in a healthy relationship in which two people are sexually attracted to each other and things are going fine. But that there is a time clock to that, to most relationships, to your average relationship. And in order to keep things spicy and to mix it up a bit, you're going to have these discussions and tough conversations about, you know, we still want to stay together, but we may want to add this every year or every birthday or something. Like the discussion needs to be had between two adults on how to maintain a healthy relationship, and sex is one of them. And we need to be adults about this because infidelity is one thing, but menage a trois and adding sexual partners during the context of this relationship, your relationship should be bigger than any of the sex that you do or don't have. I mean, that's kind of my whole stance on it, and that's kind of the point that I was making. In the context of a marriage, you shouldn't end the marriage, I believe, over the suggestion or the threesome that you had but the marriage is often ended over the cheating, the going behind the back, the he's been doing this for years, and da, 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 da. Think about it. I just want you to consider one thing. If you, in my world, in your marriage or other marriages or other relationships that you've been in and out of, if you as a woman had brought in another woman for that night or whatever, and you were open and honest about it, and so was he, would he, the husband or would he ever have cheated? Like, why? I mean, for me, the answer is no, right? And I bet you anything, if you talk to your ex right now, if you just get to his DMs or hit him up with that text, if you asked him this question, if you're a woman out there and you had a dude that cheated on you, ask him this question. Hey, you know what? For Valentine's Day or your birthday or for Christmas, if I brought in an extra woman, would you have ever considered cheating on me? Would you have ever even thought of it? And you'd be surprised at the answer that you get. That's what I'm saying. And that's the context of this little back and forth that we had here. Because too many relationships fail because of the dishonesty, because the infidelity and the cheating is you being dishonest with your partner about what you're wanting. You want sex as a man. We want sex with other women other than our significant other. And until we are both direct and honest that we have these needs, and these needs need to be met. These needs need to be met by either our woman or our wife, right? I mean, and if they're unwilling because they have a headache and they're moody or whatever, I mean, fine, okay, we can live with that to a certain extent, but there's a time clock on that. You need to have that conversation and say, okay, fine, you don't want to have sex with me anymore. I still love you. I still want to be with you, but we're going to need to talk about sex with somebody else, because I'm not just going to be using my hand and some lube and whatever the hell. And think about it. This is kind of why men turn to like adult content as well, because adult content is the closest proximity to like having sex that we can't have in real time. We can only watch it on the screen, somebody else doing it rather than us doing it. We got a girl in the next room who no longer we have access to because she's in some kind of a mood. And that's not going to work, because that's not going to work for us. That's not going to be a healthy relationship if you can't even have access to the woman that you're in a relationship with. So you need to have that serious conversation, that serious ass conversation about two adults who need to bring in a third for his pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So sorry. I know I'm like flustered and all over the place with this, but it's really important to have these type of adult conversations if you're going to be in an adult relationship dealing with adult shit right about now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm tired of these relationships failing over things that could be mitigated through just having that talk. One event can change your entire dynamic of the relationship. One event. And that's also why I said what I said. So, having said that, give me a minute. Having said that, okay, now that was everything on the Lapeef network that I wanted to go over with you guys right now on a Friday night. You know, it doesn't even seem really like a Friday night, but it is. Anyway, okay, all these links are good. That's good. Okay. Oh, okay. So I was on This Might Be Risky. Well, I frequent that show because man, that show brought a lot out of me. I dance on my and release it on my my channel. I did that like once in 2011, and I'll probably repost it just so you guys can see it. But it didn't really start to become a thing that I regularly did until This Might Be Risky came on the YouTube scene. So, I mean, shout out to DJ Hamp for kind of like bringing me out of my my shell my history behind dancing, my shadow steps is that I go to clubs. I've been clubbing for about like 20 some, what am I, 44? Like 21, 22. Like I've been out there in the clubs and bars since I was like maybe 22 years old, something like that. Like I'm 21. When I turned 21, I started buying alcohol and just bringing it to the house and drinking with friends and stuff like that. When I was 22, 23, that's when I just started discovering like bars and clubs and music and the dance floor and things like that. I wasn't always the dancer that you see. You know, whether you think I'm good or bad, who cares? But I wasn't confident in dancing the way I do now without that experience. So I kept going out. I kept listening to music back then. The music back then was different. You can dance to a lot of music back then. I was in bars and clubs dancing it up till 2 a.m. till the bar shut down. The last song, if it was a banger, I was the last one on the dance floor. And I would leave the club or the bar with my shirt soaking wet. I mean, soaking wet. Like I went through a car wash soaking wet. My face was dripping with sweat. My shirt was dripping with sweat. My pants would be dripping with sweat. And sometimes, I remember catching colds because sometimes it would be cold outside. So I'd have to jump into my car, turn on the heater in order to kind of prevent me from like, you know, getting shivers and stuff like that. But I was younger back then and I was faster back then. If you think the way I dance is quick or fast, you should have seen me 20 freaking years ago. I was, oh my God. I'm getting tired just thinking about it. But I was faster. I was youthful. I was full of energy. And after a few shots, you know, you can do anything. So, yeah, I was pretty quick back then, right? So, yeah. But anyway, shout out to This Might Be Risky for bringing that back out of me. I didn't know I still kind of, I mean, I still go to bars and clubs and I still dance there. But the idea to hit the record button as I was dancing to some music, that was really DJ Hamp will have some music sets sometimes. He'll be playing some music and I'm like, you know, this is pretty cool. But then we had like dance contests and all that, and you know, virtual dance contests anyway. And you know, it was pretty cool. So I mean, like I kind of liked it. I mean, kind of liked it. I really enjoyed myself. So I mean, I can never appreciate enough or repay enough for him bringing that kind of me like out into the open and exposing all that. I mean, I can't really, I mean, he still has some clips of, you know, me dancing and stuff like that. When you spend $100 or something like that on a super chat. So that's really like, I mean, you know, please, anything of me dancing, I mean, he has my full blessing and permission to use. I mean, he's directly responsible for bringing this out of me. So I'm forever grateful. I don't make money off of, you know, dancing and releasing clips anyway. So, I mean, if someone's getting him a super chat or something like that, and he shows a clip, use anything he wants. I really, I just can't, that's me appreciating what he did for me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I was on This Might Be Risky a few weeks back. Was it a few weeks back? Maybe 2 weeks, something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it was earlier than today. I was talking to this younger woman on this panel, and I found her view on men refreshing. I found it to be a agreeable point of view that I wanted to like kind of get a deeper understanding and idea, right? So I kind of wanted to dig into the mindset of like, yo, what makes you think the way that you think? Like, because there's not a lot of you out there talking the way you talk. So I'm gonna go. That's what we're looking at now, and I wanted to go ahead and play that and get you guys' feedback on, hey, do you agree, not agree? Da, 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 da. So let me skip into a minute to where the conversation is actually taking place, because right now there's like a preview, but I don't want to. We need to dig right into the conversation. Oh, hang on. Let me share my screen. I keep forgetting to do this. Let me share my screen. Let me close one of these tabs out. This tab, share, and good. And let me push play. You speak and make sense. They don't make a lot of you. So I'm just curious. Like you've heard it from some. All of this knowledge you spit now, or whatever it is, was from somewhere. I'm just asking where was that from?
I think that, well, one, I had a dad, so like I understand like the male perspective. Like I had a dad, I have brothers. Also like majority of my life I've been taken care of by Black men. Like Black men have, provided me with a specific type of luxury in life. Like I've had a good life. And I've been taken care of. So I think the fact that I was like, I had a period in time where I was like coddled and like I was taken care of, and then I had to be pushed into the real world. So I went to college. I graduated high school in 2020. So I was the COVID year, didn't really get a graduation. And then I didn't really have a freshman year of college. So I had to really like transition into the real world and really like get myself ingrained. And going through college and everything like that, I just learned the nature of women through my female friendships. And I think just all of that. And I'm also in a relationship right now. So just all of that, I think it all hones into like why I am the way I am and I speak the way that I speak.
Okay. So it sounds like with a relationship with Black men, like shapes and molds your perspective. And because it sounds like you have like this healthy respect for Black men that's let me use the right word, refreshing. We don't hear a lot of you out there talking about, well, what about how the men feel and what about the relationship, da 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 da. Like we don't hear accountability either. We don't hear a lot of women talking about, hey, it's the women that's the problem because of A, B, C, and D. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of rare, but it is refreshing.
I think, well, when it comes to women, when I'm so hard on women, so I am the way I am with women because I am a woman. So like I don't really like to focus on, like, I understand and I'm able to engage with and empathize with Black men because I've been, raised by and taken care of by Black men. But when it comes to women specifically, because I am a woman, I tend to try to focus more on the like our impact and how we, our outlook on our outlook in society. Like I care about the female image, so I really try to speak to the women just through my own experience, like with my female friendships and female familial, like family relationships and everything like that. Just my own experience, it makes me really want to speak to women for real. Like I gotta focus here, especially because I am a woman. So I gotta focus. Gotta really focus on.
All right.
Hey, him.
No. All right. That's good.
Yeah. Alexis, you hit us with the all right. Enough's enough. Talk your shit.
First of all, happy. So good to be with y'all. I feel some of what Leah was saying from the fact that I have a similar experience that I have a dad still. But there's other women who have dads or had the same experience and they still had the opposite effect of what she said. So EBD was doing a lot of like acting like, EBD, look, I got love for you, but you was throwing some straight BS. There are women that are talking about same things one thing that, you know, no disrespect to the young whippersnapper, since I'm a dinosaur, like no disrespect, but experience says a lot. Like that's why when you fill out a job application, they want you to have experience. A lot of times they ask you for that, like experience. And I think majority of women and people go through things, and it changes their thoughts and why they feel the way that they feel on a topic. This topic being the dating pool. I don't think that the dating pool is shitty. I think people are shitty, and a lot of times your dating pool is shitty because you are shitty. And so if you got to take a moment and recalibrate and think, why am I attracting all these shitty people? Or even maybe I need to get out of this shitty place to get around some clean toilets. I don't know. But what you're not about to do is try to act like EBD, like this, like Leah's just spitting some straight facts and you 44 going on 54. We're not about to do that. I know you like that she was talking. Maybe it's the glasses. Maybe it's like, oh, she's smart. But no, now thank you. Tenderism. You should have did that part. Because that's how you look when you said it. But just saying that there was a lot of stuff that was going on in this conversation. That's why I came up here. Y'all know y'all over here like just straight BS. And y'all over here, Uno talking about the girl that cheated on him. And he took her back and saw it acting like she didn't cheat, but she did cheat.
Never know. See, now let's run the camera back. We asked the question, and I said I did. Never said I did.
I love you.
Never said I didn't.
Lex,
but continue.
Lex, why are you hating on Aaliyah?
I ain't hating.
What you mean?
You know what I'm saying? Respect.
What you call it? You call it something else? What you call it?
The truth. She's young. She doesn't have any experience enough. She in a relationship now, so her mind frame is from that. And I mean, who said it earlier? Anything from high school? Uno, you said that high school don't count. Like, so look, off of that premise, I'm just like, there's no way. There's no way that
every time I'm cheating,
the dinosaur is going to sit up here and be like, oh yeah, like it makes sense. Like I said, I got a dad too. I had a dad.
So do you disagree with what she was saying this evening?
I disagree with the premise of the fact of what EVD was coming up here like, oh, you're speaking in some real facts and nobody else is talking like that. Yes, there are females talking about that in your age group, EVD.
So you agree with?
I said that was a minority.
Oh, hold on. So let me ask a question. Do you just?
Yeah, so right now, Aaliyah was talking about accountability that Black women need to take for the men that they choose, and how that reflects poorly on their personality because in the context of a relationship that may turn toxic, you can't just blame the men and call them narcissists and all kinds of names without looking inward and finding out and asking the question, is it the men that I'm choosing or that I attract? You know, you have to stop and do some self-reflection. So she was speaking on a whole lot of things then, and I'm like, wait a minute, you talking about holding women accountable for their part of the relationship? So I've never heard that. It's not that I never heard it, but you don't hear that on the daily. You don't hear it anywhere. Not every day, and you don't hear it from young women either. You don't hear it from young women, older women, like you don't hear that like period. So I'm like, wait a minute, where are you getting this from? Where are you getting this education from? Where are you getting this healthy respect for men from? Like, where do you get this? So she explained that to me, and that's what the question was, because I was like I'm like, it's kind of refreshing to hear it. But so Alexis was like I guess like what she was I want to say that it was kind of like triggering for her, like like, oh yeah, well, um, uh, um, so everyone's listening to her, and we're like, okay, do you disagree with what she said? What exactly do you think is like bullshit? Like, we're trying to get to the bottom of that. Now, I can't do it as effectively as DJ Hamp can. So, I'm just, I'm making a bunch of faces and stuff like that at what she's saying. But we're trying to get to the bottom and the crux of her argument or disagreement or what have you. So this clip is called "Come See Me in 5 Years. Are older women preying on the downfall of younger women?" with a question mark. So this might be risky. That's the title. You can go ahead and navigate there and know what I'm talking about. And then but I'm just going to continue this so you can like kind of hear it.
Disagree with what she was saying, Alexis?
As far as the dating pool part?
Yeah, what she was saying about women and women's disposition and such?
Not exactly. No, not exactly. I don't agree all the way. Like
so
I said,
I guess my question is, when you say there are women talking like that, and he was speaking of it positive, you're saying no, they're all women his age talking like that. Do you include yourself in that pool of women that talk like that?
Yes.
So then you don't disagree with her. So then why come when he giving her flowers to say, all right, that's enough flowers? Why?
Because I'm she's at my point in my age, because I've had experience. I don't think that she's had enough experience to really be like, oh yeah, this, that, and the third.
So you think I'm lying?
It's like,
think I'm lying?
No, I didn't say that at all. I didn't say that.
So what you saying? If we agree, agree, and if he giving me my flower, what's the all right? Like, what's that about? Exactly. Especially you an older woman, so you should be like, yes, that's my young sis speaking at you. For me, that's how you're supposed to be, and that's not how you are right now.
Yeah, you're supposed to do. Like, I think you're supposed to do that thing they do. They be like
clock it.
Little.
You got it has to be solidified.
He was already talking.
No,
I'm being realistic to say that I think her age, she can speak from that point now, but I would like to see what that point would be in about 6 years.
God.
But why you gotta sow that negativity? Like, for me, I'm saying the right things now. So you should be speaking like you should want me to still think like this 6 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be trying to see.
Finesse.
But it's not gonna be like what I should think. I'm telling you, which is that in some years from now, I would like to see how that point of view may shift. That's all.
You know,
if it shifts to a negative light, are you gonna be happy? Like, you're gonna be like, I told you so.
Right.
Like,
no, because
it's interesting.
If it stays the same, then I'll be like, oh, okay. And I still would like to see how it would be in some years after that.
You know, how it comes across though is like, we'll see once you experience these men or the dating pool, which doesn't seem very overwhelmingly positive. Now, the reason why I believe her stance, now I use believe because believe can be, if you understand the etymology, right? Because it comes from her foundation of her father. You see? So what I'm saying is it had less to do with experiencing men and being treated well and being loved correctly by her father and being protected and taken care of by her brothers. That's saying, oh no, I see men like this because the men in my life treated me as such. It doesn't come from the men outside of that, you see? And so that's the part where it has a little bit more substance than just a woman just regurgitating some shit. She lived it.
I did too. And I know other females who have the same foundation and they still are on the opposite end. So, I mean,
don't you think they might be on the opposite end because of the decisions they chose to make in their life? Like, it's things that go into that. So because of the decisions I've chose to make, I'm young, and I know I'm young. You keep honing that in. So because of the decisions I've made now and the experience I've lived up to now, this is the way that I think. And I think the way that I think is I think it's the right way to think. Now, how other people may figure what's right and what's wrong, that's up to them. But I think the way that I think is right. And You know, I don't want to think differently from how I'm thinking now later in life because I'm bitter or broken. Now, if I go through things in life and, you know, I end up getting hurt or anything like that, my outlook on life shouldn't change because of the things that I've experienced. I should still be able to be a woman in a relationship and be a good woman in a relationship, irregardless of the hurt that I felt in my life.
You should. So I feel correct. Yeah, you should, correct. But
and I want to have this way of thinking when I'm your age or when I'm anybody else's age.
Yeah, and you should. And I think a lot of people don't think that they would change their mind because of where they're at right now. And you are correct. So I'll give you your flowers. It shouldn't change. But there's things in life that will happen that can make it change and can just shift it. So again, I'm gonna stand my ground that I would like to see where it in some years from now, if it's still the same. So
is your problem that I respect her because she has a healthy respect for Black men?
No, I don't have a problem. I didn't say that I had a
problem. No. You're saying that I'm on some bullshit, but that's the kind of shit I'm on. That's why I asked her what I asked her. Like, where do you get this perspective? Because it's a healthy respect for Black men.
Oh man! Hey! Oh man! Hey!
We'll hate, man. That's like an art form, man.
Is that what you think is bullshit? The healthy respect for Black
because
men?
I have a healthy respect for men. Like I said, I had a dad and a mom.
So then why do you say my perspective is bullshit?
Because me and you have been on these panels and we've heard other women speak similar. So for you to say it like, oh, what you're saying, and so I'm like, oh, that's some bullshit.
We've been on other panels.
Yeah, we've heard women speak similar.
No, we have not.
Come on, EBD.
That's a minority, not a majority. That's why I say it's refreshing because she's a minority, not the majority. You think hang on. Give me a percentage. How many Aaliyahs are there with this perspective and mindset? How many?
In her age group?
But pick one.
Yeah, well.
Some moms want to build income from home. They just don't want to post.
All right, that was a commercial. Let me mute it and let me skip it. And now let me get back into it.
Let's talk about my age group though. How many of you think it's talking like this in my age group?
Right.
I don't really care too much about how many is talking like that.
That's the issue.
Just call it out that. No, it's not that I don't care. Like because
you don't care. You should.
Yeah, you should care.
You should care.
As an elder, you should
care about the future of younger women getting in healthy relationships.
This is what we're talking about, right?
I talk to the women underneath me, and we have.
Okay, so this exchange right here, she has a healthy respect for men, and she has a healthy respect for Black men, and that is not what we are seeing all over the internet. That's not what we are seeing in real life. We do not encounter this perspective and we do not encounter this perception. And from what she's talking about, how she was raised, we are not hearing these type of stories from your average woman or average Black woman or what have you, which is why I say it's refreshing because she is in a significant minority of being in a healthy relationship and having a healthy perspective on men at her age. So this shade that she's trying to throw, like I said, DJ Hamp was trying to get down to the bottom of it. Like, what is it that you have a problem with exactly? And I think the problem is, well, do you disagree with what she's saying? What do you disagree with? Oh, well, I don't disagree. Oh, okay. Well, why do you say I'm on some bullshit? I agree with what she's saying, and I want to know where it comes from. Oh, well, there are other women and on other panels who say something similar. And I'm like, nah, that's bullshit. You on some bullshit. No, we don't. We don't hear. I said, how many, or give me a percentage of how many women are thinking and speaking in this manner about men waking up in the morning with this. And of course, she's not going to answer the question. But then she said, I don't care. And the other men joined in and saying, you should care. You should care. You should care about younger women having a healthier perspective on relationships and men, so that they can be better women in relationships and in the context of a long-term relationship that can turn into a marriage. That's the problem. And instead of being honest and saying, "Oh, well, I'm just triggered that you're giving her flowers and that she's speaking this way," instead of being honest, it's like all the shade of, "Well, we'll see how you think in 5 years when you've been in all these toxic encounters and da-da-da-da-da-da." And that's what that's what really is the crux is. So, hey, about 5 more minutes.
Conversations, and I push back. So me and Saad go back and forth, and I push back on her because she is younger than me. I talk to them. I don't just sit up
but
here.
Why are you pushing back on me? I'm saying I'm here.
We here.
Why are you pushing back on me?
I told you why. I'm just pushing back on the fact that you're young, and I will be interested to see how your mind frame is in some years from now. Because
it's not
like,
motivating.
You were a guy, or what about? Didn't you have a father figure?
My dad calls me every day.
Yeah.
I love you so. I love you so much.
I guess Alexis, which proves what?
What does that mean?
That there's a lot of females who have that same foundation, and they think the opposite. That's what I'm saying. I like to see.
So what you're saying is that black women who have grown up with a black father still have a disrespect for black men, and that's normal.
First of all, that's not what you're hearing.
I think the
that's what I'm hearing.
No, it's not, because I don't have
other side of this of respect for black men.
men.
Okay, so Saad was saying this is not what you're hearing, which is we'll wait till you grow up a little 5 years from now, and then you'll be on the other side of this ideology of having healthy respect for men and black men, which is this bitter disdain for all men or all black men. We'll wait until you get there. Then whatever comes out of your mouth will be valid, because I can co-sign with your negative perspective on black men. I cannot co-sign with your healthy perspective on black men. And that's what the crux was. And when I called that out for what it was, Saudi is over here like, that's not what you heard. But my name is Enter the Black Dragon, but people call me EDB for short, or I'm sorry, EBD. Yeah, Enter Black Dragon, like EBD. So Sadia called me DTB, and it was funny because everyone was cutting up because everyone was kind of laughing at this. It's like, that's not what you heard, DTB. I'm like, and let me rewind it a little bit so you can hear it again. Let me rewind it so you can hear it again. It was funny, And she didn't. I don't think she obviously didn't mean it, but she was talking so fast that everyone in the panel called me EBD, but she said DTB, and I was just like, I'm gonna let it slide. She didn't mean any slight by it, but it's just funny, So everyone was kind of cracking up a little bit. Go ahead.
You were a guy, or what about? Didn't you have a father figure?
My dad calls me every day.
Yeah.
I love you so. I love you so much.
I guess Alexis, which proves what?
What does that mean?
That there's a lot of females who have that same foundation, and they think the opposite. That's what I'm saying. I like
because
to see.
So what you're saying is that black women who have grown up with a black father still have a disrespect for black men, and that's normal.
First of all, that's not what you're hearing.
I think
that's what I'm hearing.
No, it's not.
That is what I'm hearing. I am hearing that given enough time, she is supposed to have a disrespect for black men, which is the opposite of having respect for black men, and that's normal. Meaning she hasn't lived life enough in her youthful experience to have enough toxic relationships to be screwed over to have this ideology in which she herself can co-sign.
Not because I don't
the
have
other
a
side
disrespect.
of this
I don't
of
have
respect
a
for black men is disrespect.
But we don't have a disrespect.
So this is what I'm saying. The opposite of having a healthy respect for black men is disrespect. When Alexis from Texas said the other side, Oh, there are plenty of women who grew up the same way you, Aaliyah, did, and then now they're on the other side. The others, the side of healthy respect for Black men is disrespect for Black men, which is more common than not, which is why she's in the minority, and which is why I gave her flowers and wanted to deep dive into how she got to where she got mentally. Let me rewind it a bit because I know there was some crosstalk, but I want you to hear something. I want you to hear this clearly.
I'm pushing,
why you pushing back on me?
I told you why. I'm just pushing back on the fact that you're young, and I will be interested to see how your mind frame is in some years from now. Because
it's not like, motivating.
You were a doctor, or what about? Didn't you have a father figure?
Mm-hmm. My dad calls me every day.
Yeah.
I love you so. I love you so much.
I guess Alexis, which proves what?
What does that mean?
That there's a lot of females who have that same foundation, and they think the opposite. That's what I'm saying. I like
because
to see.
of the decisions they chose to make.
So what you're saying is that Black women who have grown up with a Black father still have a disrespect for Black men, and that's normal.
First of all, that's not what you're hearing.
I think that's what I'm hearing.
No, it's not, because I don't have
the other side of respect for Black men is disrespect.
But we don't have a disrespect. Our viewpoint is that we just don't want to focus on the negativities of the women when we know that it's not just women. It's a people thing. It's a human thing. This is a human defect that we have.
So what you've heard, what you're hearing is a deflection. So instead of holding Black women accountable for the negative perception they have about Black men, what she's trying to do is deflect it to where it's, oh, well, everybody. Oh, it's a human thing. Meaning don't particularly hold Black women accountable, hold everybody accountable. Don't focus on Black women and their negative disrespect for Black men and their perception of Black men. Hold everybody accountable because everybody's fucking up. And that's not what Aaliyah is on, and that's not what she's talking about. She's talking about Black women specifically because she is a Black woman, and she knows that what she's hearing she knows toxic and negative aspects that need to change within the Black community in order to improve and be better. But what she's getting is pushback because I appreciate her mindset at her age with her upbringing. And what Alexis is saying is, oh, well, there are plenty of Black women who had fathers in their lives who think the opposite. The opposite of respect is disrespect. The opposite of something positive, a positive perception of Black men, is to have a negative perception of Black men. And that's the problem. And so what she wants to do is take the spotlight off of Black women and their negative perspective of Black men and apply it and smear everybody as if that's what we're talking about, or as if that's how Aaliyah should be thinking. She should be thinking about everybody's bad. You know, don't focus on us. Don't try and correct what we're doing or what we're thinking. Focus on something over there. It's a deflection. It's an escape from accountability that she doesn't want to accept. Neither one of them do.
Fucking core of us. Like, what fact is I don't
the
have
other side of this of respect for Black men is disrespect.
But we don't have a disrespect. Our viewpoint is that we just don't want to focus on the negativities of the women when we know that it's not just women. It's a people thing. It's a human thing. This is a human.
That's why everybody's laughing. That's what everyone's laughing at. So that's what everyone's laughing at. They're laughing at the deflection. They're laughing at Neo in the Matrix dodging bullets that are called accountability. They're straight up trying to like this is what you're hearing. I'm gonna rewind it again. This is worth rewinding it again. No. The other side of having a healthy respect for Black men is disrespect and negativity of Black men. Hear it again.
As an elder,
you should care about the future of younger women getting in healthy relationships.
As an elder,
this is what we talking
as an
about,
elder,
right?
I talk to the women underneath me, and we have conversations, and I push back. So I go back and forth, and I push back on her because she is younger than me. I talk to them. I don't just sit up
but
here.
Why are you pushing back on me? I'm saying I'm here. We here. Why are you pushing back on me?
I told you why. I'm just pushing back on the fact that you're young, and I will be interested to see how your mind frame is in some years from now. Because
it's not motivating.
You were a guy, or what about? Didn't you have a father figure?
Mm-hmm. My dad calls me every day.
Yeah.
I love you so. I love you so much.
I guess Alexis, which proves what?
What does that mean?
That there's a lot of females who have that same foundation, and they think the opposite. That's what I'm saying. I like
because
to see.
of the decisions they chose to make.
So what you're saying is that black women who have grown up with a black father still have a disrespect for black men, and that's normal.
First of all, that's not what you're hearing.
That's what I'm hearing.
No, it's not, because I don't have
other side of this of respect for black men is disrespect.
But we don't have a disrespect. Our viewpoint is that we just don't want to focus on the negativities of the women when we know that it's not just women. It's a people thing. It's a human thing. This is a human defect that we have the fucking core of us. Like what? No, because y'all want to say it's ego, it's pride, it's this, is that. No, this is a human thing. This shit been happening from the beginning of time. And we just want to keep on saying that it's just, it's just the females. It's just the females. It's just the niggas. It's just the niggas. No, it's every fucking body. Everybody's fucked up and shitty if you want to be honest.
Well,
so we all have to be accountable. We all have to be.
That's what we're saying. Okay, so right now we're like, now it's everybody. When we're trying to hold like a particular gender accountable, especially women, what they want to say is, well, everybody's fucked up and it's everybody. So we don't want to focus on the negativity of just black women. It's everybody. Everybody's fucked. So this is the problem. This is the problem. I'm gonna rewind it again. This is what the problem is. When we're trying to hold someone's feet to the fire and accountability, they dodge it, they deflect, and they say, no, we don't want to focus on women and their negative behavior. The focus should be on everybody. And that's not what that's why I said her point of view is refreshing.
That I don't care, like, because
you don't care. You should.
Yeah, you should care.
You should care.
As an elder,
you should care about the future of younger women getting in healthy relationships.
This is what we talking about, right?
I talk to the women underneath me, and we have conversations, and I push back. So I go back and forth, and I push back on her because she is.
This clip is called "Come See Me in 5 Years." Are older women preying on the downfall of younger women with a question mark? YouTube, this might be risky. Type in the words.
Younger than me. I talk to them. I don't just sit up here.
But why are you pushing back on me? I'm saying I'm here. We here. Why are you pushing back on me?
I told you why. I'm just pushing back on the fact that you're young, and I will be interested to see how your mind frame is in some years from now, because
it's not motivating.
You were a guy, or what about? Didn't you have a father figure?
Mm-hmm. My dad calls me every day.
Yeah.
I love you so. I love you so much.
I guess Alexis, which proves what?
What does that mean?
That there's a lot of females who have that same foundation, and they think the opposite. That's what I'm saying. I like
because
to see.
Of the decisions they chose to make.
So what you're saying is that black women who have grown up with a black father still have a disrespect for black men, and that's normal.
First of all, that's not what you're hearing.
That's what I'm hearing.
No, it's not, because I don't have
the other side of this of respect for black men is disrespect.
But we don't have a disrespect. Our viewpoint is that we just don't want to focus on the negativities of the women when we know that it's not just women. It's a people thing. It's a human thing. This is a human defect that we have the fucking core of us. Like what? No, because y'all want to say it's ego, it's pride, it's this is that. No, this is a human thing. This shit been happening from the beginning of time. And we just want to keep on saying that it's just, oh, it's just the females. It's just the females. It's just the niggas. It's just the niggas. No, it's every fucking body. Everybody's fucked up and shitty if you want to be honest.
Well,
we all have to be accountable. We all have to be accountable, and we all have to do the work. Just like you frowning your face up, DTB, we heard your stories.
So she called me DTB again. So I don't know how she got, like, I don't know why she called me DTB, but I asked him to change my name to DTB just so she can be right. That was too funny.
You wanted to. We all have to be accountable. We all have to be accountable, and we all have to do the work. Just like you frowning your face up, DTB, we heard your stories about how you wanted to. You wanted to
change my name, man. Change my name to I told him to change my Tylo name to DTB. I'm sorry. I like to, it was funny when she said it in real time. It's funny now. And I asked him to change it because I tend, I like to laugh and lean into the shit. I'll lean into the joke. You know what I'm saying? So.
And I apologize if I messed it up. But how you wanted to try a victim, and then you told us all this long out story, and you were to blame, sir.
What do you mean, my story?
You don't remember?
No. I'm just saying.
I'm talking to DTV.
She keeps calling me DTV, and it's like it's the wrong alphabet, but it's just funny because So what she was saying was so instead of everyone laughing, right? I paused it, everybody laughing, but what she's saying is she's trying to again deflect and say she said, just like you came up here and told your story. So my story was, I'm like, wait a minute, my story. So now she's deflecting from Aaliyah's point. She's deflecting from being held accountable. And now she's saying, you, EVD, your story, you were up here with your story, trying to play the victim. And I'm like, what? But it's a tactic of like trying to like flip the script and assign blame, all to escape accountability of negative behavior. So yeah, so that's just one of the many things. If you can't hold yourself, if you don't want to be held accountable, the best thing you can do is point the finger at somebody else and try and change the topic and the subject to the person who's making a good point. So let me just 15 seconds. There we go.
We heard your stories about how you wanted to
change my name, man. Change my name.
And I apologize if I messed it up. But how you wanted to try a victim, and then you told us all this long out story, and you were to blame, sir.
What do you mean, my story?
You don't remember?
No. I'm just saying.
I'm talking to DTV.
You've been doing it.
Damn. Yo,
that's what it say up there.
Yo, it's just ill, right? Alexis, it kind of just came across like when you heard her saying it as a young woman, you said, see what you're saying in 5 years. So now it kind of wonder if you actually doubt when you say it.
No, I don't feel that way. Just based off of what I've seen in my experiences, that I've had friends who was on the same plane with me at one point, and then a few years and experiences, it changed up. And so that's.
But you didn't though, right? You still stayed consistent, right?
Yeah, but I knew what they went through to where I was like, yo, like, okay. And so that's why I said I'd be interested in how it'll play in some years from now. That's all.
No, I see what you.
I can't be like you.
I can't be like you. I see what you did there.
I hope you are. No, it's not that you can't be, and I hope that you will be, because I just opened up my dating.
That's more like it.
So I'm not. I'm not over here like the dating pool of the shitty.
That's more like it. You should. That's how it should have been. Like, yeah, be more like me. I love the way you think. Continue to thinking the way you thinking. Like some motivation. Like it's never no motivation when it comes from elderly, older Black women. It's never no motivation. It's always like, negativity.
Now,
He did it like me. Wait. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'm about to say why. So what she said was, it's never no like, yeah, I like the way you think. Keep that energy. Like, I support what you think. I hope you keep thinking this way. It's always the negativity. Let's just see how you think in 5 years, meaning I can't wait until you have this negative perception, because if this negative perception and this unhealthy disrespect for Black men, that's something I can co-sign. This is something I can co-sign. That'll be something. Then you'll be part of the sisterhood. Then I can agree with what you're saying. And then you'll understand men. You know what I mean? You'll come over to my negative point of view, rather than, keeping that positive energy and keeping that healthy respect, which she has right now, which she's been raised with. So, hey, and I'm about to explain why in 3 simple words. I'll tell you why in one phrase. I'll tell you that in one phrase. I'll tell you that in one phrase. Because misery loves company.
Right.
Because misery loves company. You're not celebrating the fact that she's had a healthy relationship with Black men and that she's in a healthy relationship now. What you're saying is, well, give it enough time and you'll come around to this other way of thinking where you have this bitter taste in your mouth of Black men. All men are trash. You ain't supposed to date. And that's it. Like, that's how that's how normal women operate. And that ain't.
Let me read these real quick. Calvin with the 2000.
All right, that's the end of the clip. But yes, I had to replay it a bunch of times. But when there's cross chatter like that, it's kind of hard to pick out the one extraction of what you want to hear and then process it mentally. So I had to play it a little bit like over and over again on a, because I wanted you as a audience that's barely listening to this on my little speaker here, I wanted you to at least factor out like what was said and why it comes across the way it comes across. So this might be risky. I've been on a bunch of this might be risky panels. I didn't get a chance to get all the clips, and that's fine. I've been on for 3 hours. I didn't even know. I think this is mostly clips, though. I haven't been running my mouth too much, I hope. But I think I dropped the link in the chat for anyone to come up. I haven't seen anyone come up on YouTube, and I don't have any viewers either, which is fine. It is what it is. But what I'll do is I will end the live stream because it's 3 hours right now. I'll end the live stream on my YouTube, and I'll keep the TikTok going. And I'll see if I can play around with the settings or something like that, and see if I can invite someone if they want to come up. Or I don't know. I'll try something. I mean, tonight's Friday night's the time to experiment anyway. So let me stop presenting. Okay, there we go. Big screen. And I'm going to sign off on YouTube. It's 3 hour mark. That's fine. My Patreon ended maybe about 30 minutes ago because my phone died. My other phone died. It's an older phone, but yeah. I'll end this stream right now. TikTok, you can stay right there, I guess. I'm gonna try and play around with it a little bit. If you are in my TikTok thing and you've heard and you've stuck with me throughout this whole thing, first of all, congratulations and thank you. And for you out there in YouTubeverse, play this back to your heart's content. Let me know what you think and comment in down below. Subscribe for obviously my videos and my thoughts on relationships. And also I put out I made some new dance videos, so I chopped it up and edited them already. I'm just gonna release them one day at a time. You know how I do. And I'll probably make some like tomorrow. I'm not sure. It depends on how I'm feeling. I mean, the weather here has been kind of hot and cold. Well, mostly cold lately. So, that and I'm old. But but I had to. So what I had to do, I'll explain it real quick. I had to all the songs that I've released on my YouTube, on those songs, I did 2 separate releases. I did one in 2025 and I released all the songs I danced to, and I deleted all of my songs because some of them just didn't pull enough traffic that I thought that they should have. So I deleted all of those songs, and now I'm reposting all those same songs again. But now that I've made new videos, I'm going to incorporate, the newer songs with the older videos that I made. And my playlist that I like to dance to, that I want to make videos for, I have to reorder my playlist. It's called a shadow step list. I don't know if I can publicly share it. I think I need YouTube Premium, and I ain't got no money for that right now. But it's a playlist, and I've reordered the playlist to play songs that I know I haven't made videos for yet, that I need to make videos for. And all of the other songs that I did make videos for, I've removed them from the playlist so that I don't have to worry about making duplicates or something like that. So be on the lookout for that. And I'm talking to everybody, TikTok and YouTube. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. And if there are any questions or whatever it is opinions you have, just like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what you do or don't disagree with. It's a 3-hour thing on YouTube, so I would expect, I don't know who's gonna actually sit there and watch it, maybe put it in the podcast, like put it in your ear or something like that while you're at work. But I don't know. I kind of hope you guys had some kind of fun with this. I mean, I know I did. I didn't even think I was gonna go 3 hours, but it is what it is. It's my day off. But a good Friday night. I'm not going out, not in this cold. It's like 40 degrees over here. Probably colder. So I'm not trying to get sick or anything. I got work tomorrow, but yeah. On YouTube, I'm signing out, and I'll holler at y'all when I get at y'all. Maybe Valentine's Day, who knows, or day before Valentine's, so I can talk some more crap. All right. See ya.